All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of The Market Close on a day where quite literally the market is closed. So, yeah, today has been a very, it's been one of those days where it's kind of just like questioning the nature of existence, what's going on today, what's happening. But we're here, and I don't know. I'm going to be on for a couple hours. We're just going to talk about anything, really. We can do whatever we want. There's definitely a bunch of headlines that are happening today, even if they're not necessarily market related, but they do have some implications on the market. And yeah, we'll just chill for a couple of hours. I got to do some stuff at 7, so I'm here till 7. And if anyone wants to chill out, then we can chill out. Amit, will there be a bell? Okay, so update on that. I think I've made some progress on fixing this bell situation with a soundboard to have like a proper bell. And I think by tomorrow I'll be able to figure it out. Probably not, because it's a little bit short notice to figure it out. But I think by Monday we're going to figure out this bell situation, and we're going to be having a real authentic bell every single day. So yeah, we'll do that. But outside of that, we're here, and anything you guys want to talk about, we can talk about for the next few hours. There's a bunch of things happening today in regards to President Carter's funeral. And some of this stuff is wild. Also, the stuff in California, I mean, goodness gracious, dude. I feel for anyone in LA. West Hollywood got the fires last night. Was not fun to see all that stuff. And obviously, dude, some of this, I'll show some of the photos, but there's basically been $62 billion of destruction when it comes to properties. Like, we're talking about $30-40 billion houses gone like that. Insurance companies, I think in Q1 are going to take a massive L because, I mean, a lot of these insurance companies are going to have to start dishing out a decent amount of money. So those premiums are going to be rampant. And, that's definitely going to have market implications as well. But in general, California right now is just in a tough spot. I know a bunch of people in LA, and they've been texting me that they're doing okay. But in general, LA is in a tough situation. Yeah, Eddie says we could see it from my living room. Eddie, I saw your girl's video on Twitter of showing the fires, and you can see it from your living room. It's crazy, dude. Absolutely crazy. Thank you, everybody, for being here. We're just going to sit and talk for a bit and, I don't know, try to analyze anything we can as the markets are closed. I'm Beneficial. What's up, David? Carlos is doing well. I was talking to him this morning. He's like not in the center of it. He's I think about like 30-40 miles from where the fire is, so he's good. He doesn't have to evacuate. But still, it's just insane to see some of the stuff that's happening there. Pedro, what's up? Ryan, E.T., Cloud, Servana, McAdams family, Midwest, Lee Armstrong, Deneen, June. Thank you all for being here with me today. So first question for you guys, what did you all do today on a day where the markets were closed? I actually did have some stuff planned that I did today. So I met up with my good friend Adam Bergman, who you all probably know if you're OG Palantir, because he was one of the first people talking about it. Back when it was $6-7. And well, let's just say he confirmed that the bricks are real. As you can see, he is holding a sign that says real. He particularly wanted to do this. It was his idea to write up the sign that says real. I said, okay, bro, whatever you want to do. You got to do what you got to do. And as you can see, he's pointing to the bricks while saying that they are real. So I got to get some lunch with my good friend, Mr. Adam, and he got to prove to everybody that the bricks are real. By the way, if you didn't believe him, Arnie, who came over in the summer, also, it's 2 for 2 at this point. I don't know what more proof everybody needs if we're 2 for 2. If anyone ever wants to come over, you guys will see the bricks are indeed real. So we we at least got that going in the right direction. So yeah, I had some lunch with Adam. Adam's a very good friend. We got to talk about investing, business, some side projects he's working on. So that was fun. I woke up late today, dude. I woke up at 10:30. I woke up late. Like I legit woke up late. I think I slept at like 2 a.m. I actually watched The Big Short again last night, just for the hell of it. I told you guys, it's been a while since I've watched it. So I wanted to watch it again. I watched it last night. And some of these scenes, dude, it was such a good movie when you really look back on it. But then you remember how crazy the subprime mortgages were, and the CDOs, and how they synthetically created CDO. I mean, it's just an insane thing that happened in 2008. And then it makes you like a little bit more grateful for the fact that everyone's saying there's a bubble right now. It's like not that type of bubble. Maybe there are some parts that are extended in valuation, but it wasn't that shit. At least I don't think it's that shit right now. So yeah, I watched that last night. I slept. I woke up actually at like 9, or I woke up at 7:30. Then I woke up at 9. Then I fell back asleep. Then I woke up at 10:30. And then Adam came over at 11 or 11:30, and we just had some lunch, and that's it. I did wake up and I saw Bitcoin dropping, dude. I woke up and I freaking saw Bitcoin at 90. Where is it right now? I really haven't looked at crypto the whole day. This is what happens when you actually like go have lunch with a friend and stuff. You're distracted from the markets. Like you didn't even, otherwise I would know exactly what the price of Bitcoin is right now. But Bitcoin, wow, we're still at 91. So apparently the United States government dumped 6.5 billion of crypto last night. That was the headline. I don't know if it actually happened. Some people are saying they tracked it and it did happen. Biden gave the okay. These are Silk Road Bitcoin that were acquired or not acquired, but rather seized by the US federal government. And maybe that's the reason, or maybe this is in anticipation of that being sold off. But yeah, I think that's why we're tanking right here to 91, which if we don't recover, then 8 p.m. when overnight markets open on Robinhood, we're definitely going to see some of the crypto proxies get a little bit of a hit. So yeah, we'll have to deal with that on Bitcoin as well. But that's it. That's what I did today. Let me know what you guys did today as well. Thank you everybody for being here again. We're just going to chill out, talk for a bit, go through any topics. Elon did a new interview as well. He said some really bullish stuff about Optimus, like some really bullish stuff about Optimus. So we'll talk about that too. Because if he's not lying about that and he's like dead serious, then 2025, we're going to see some real Optimus progress, which is going to be fun. Carol says you need to post a picture of the bricks from the side so we can see the rough edges. I don't know how much more you need to see, bro. It's been there every day for 3 years. Like it's here. It's real. It's a thing. Got multiple sources to clarify if it's real. It is what it is. At least we get 24-hour markets on Robinhood at 8 p.m. Yo, we are some fiends, bro. We are really some fiends for the market. Like this meme right here, this meme, this is all of us. All of us are this meme. This is all of us. All of us. Like literally, I woke up today and I was just like, so what's the point? Like I woke up, like what did you guys feel like today, right? Like when you woke up, like I was just like, well, so what is the point of today? What are we trying to do? Oh, I got to give a shout out to Adam on this. So he got me this sweatshirt for my birthday and he gave it to me today. This is so cool, bro. This is great. He got me a Tesla hat as well, but this is so good. So I love it. This hoodie's great. Feels awesome. I'm going to wear it a bunch. So we got a nice little Tesla hoodie right there. Adam's awesome, man. Adam is absolutely awesome. Again, he killed it last year in the market, like really killed it to the point where he can retire and just spend time with his kids. And so, you know, it's nice. Literally, he could not come over and just like get lunch in the middle of the day. A, if the markets were open, but B, if he was still working his regular job before. So it was nice to just have a day to spend with some friends. Oh, I told you guys I got FSD 13. So today was the day we went to Applebee's for lunch. And today was the day where I just like, I didn't touch it at all. I just like let it go. And it was like a 15-minute drive on the highway. Perfect. There was one mistake coming back where it was actually like not, it went the wrong way. And that's when I had to intervene. But on the first way there for 15, but that's fixable, right? You know, with the training, that's going to get fixed over time. But for the full way to get there, I mean, the lane switching, and there's a real difference between lane switching in 13 versus 12.5.6, which is what I had before. Lane switching sucked in the previous one. This one, I'm like very confident that it understands how to switch lanes. So it was very good. Mike says, I'm a manager at Applebee's. What do we get? So I got the grilled chicken and shrimp, the sizzling one. And then he just got a salmon and mashed potatoes and broccoli. I believe that's what he got. Yeah. So nothing too crazy, but it was fun. It was fun. We got to have some lunch together. Watching with my mom. She's laughing at your bricks. Hello, Michelle's mom. First of all, Michelle's mom. All right, I got to show you guys this stuff because I found this over the weekend. Michelle, for those that don't know, she came on the market or the not the market, the New Year's Eve stream, and shout out to Michelle's mom. I think Michelle's mom. I think you got Michelle into cooking or baking because apparently Michelle has this business that's like you guys are gonna see this shit. It's like, yeah, Cakes by Michelle. Look at these cakes, bro. Like I saw this shit and I was like, holy crap. I have so much respect for someone that can do stuff like this, dude. Look at these. I was like, bro, we got to blow this up. I got to invest in this or something. This is not easy to make these types of cakes. Look at this. This is beautiful. And I think she got into it because her mom was, look at this, a Wingstop cake. Are you kidding me? It's wild, bro. Absolutely wild. So This is super, 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 super cool. And it's dope stuff. I have so much respect for this, bro. So much respect. Because I've always wanted to like get into cooking. And like, obviously, I'm not, oh, wow, you have a Drake cake? This is great. I like suck at cooking. I think I had a baking phase a couple years ago. Didn't really work out. I'm not really the best at it. You know, it is what it is. So this is nice. If you guys want to follow it on Instagram, you can check it out. Cakes by Michelle Bakery. I think it's in Houston. We need a Palantir cake. Yo, that's facts. I need to order Palantir cookies, Michelle, and you need to ship them to me with the logo. And if you could recreate like Carp's face or something, like, I just have so much respect for this type of stuff, dude. It's like so hard to do this. So freaking hard. Like I'm creative. I would consider myself creative, but I'm not this type of creative. Like I can create stuff with my mouth. That sounded weird, but I can create words, right? Like but I can't create Mario and Luigi on a cake. Like no, dude, that's not like, I'm not, you guys should see some of my art projects from freaking 7th grade, bro. I remember one time I had to build like a little, we were studying, it was in Latin class. We were studying like the what's the thing with the Trojan horse? It's like a war, the Achilles heel. It's that whole story with Achilles and the heel and all this stuff, whatever. I had to like replicate something. I took like these wooden sticks and I put it together last minute because I procrastinated so much, and I taped it together and I showed it to my teacher, and she loved me. My teacher loved me. She was like, Amit, you're failing this and you're just gonna have to hold this L. And I'm like, I know. She was like, you failed. She was like, it's okay. You failed. You're gonna do well enough to get an A in the class because you passed all the tests. But this thing, you failed. Because there's no way in hell I can give you even a C, even a D on this. Like, no, you failed. Like, you fucking failed. I was like, all right, it is what it is. It is what it is. I failed. So I'm so bad at creating this type of stuff. But you know, talking them a little bit better. Market closes in 30. No, Nate says she is artistically creative. You are autistically creative. That is a hell of a way to say it, but whatever. I guess that's correct. All right, so we're gonna ring the bell regardless because markets are about to close. Again, I think I figured out this sound bell thing. I think I figured it out, and I think most likely in by Monday we're gonna have a legit soundboard. And I'm gonna ring the bell with a soundboard just to do the act of ringing it, but I'm going to press the soundboard thing so that at least, you know, the sound actually comes out. But I think there's a way to do it. All right, 4 p.m. The stock market is now closed, even though it was closed all day. All right, boom. Market's closed. Stocks haven't moved, but Bitcoin is down to 91K. Diane said, I've been homesick, sick with the flu. Feel better, Diane. That is, you know, I knock on wood, but I haven't got sick in a while. Last time I got really sick was August 2022, and it was the vid. That was my second time having it. For some reason, that vaccine didn't really work or something. I don't know. I'm just saying. I don't know. But yeah, it's like I haven't gotten sick since then in a while. But we'll see if it comes back this time. It's been cold. It's been pretty brick in Jersey. But the snow is kind of melting up. In Arkansas, they're expecting 6 to 8 inches of snow. How do I know that? Because Chad told me. I didn't even know it could snow in Arkansas. So apparently it can. So between that snow and then the fires in California, it's wild, bro. Absolutely wild. All right, are we red or green tomorrow? We red or green tomorrow? What do you guys think? Are we red or green tomorrow? I don't know, dude. I don't know at this point. Armand, thanks for the super chat. That wallpaper ain't real. Much love from Canada. It is real. I appreciate you. Much love as well. But maybe one day you're going to have to see, dude. One day you guys will see it's real. Small wallet, thanks for the €6. I definitely got that right. That looks like an E. I know the difference now. Neo was your first stock. Would you ever deep dive it to retest your skills versus then versus now? Yeah, that's actually a good idea. It's not a bad idea. I would never buy Neo, but deep diving it and comparing the financials today versus in 2019 is definitely a good idea because 2019 it was, you know, just all hype and then it went to $60 because of COVID, all that stuff. But that's definitely not a bad idea. Nunzio, thank you for the $5 super chat. Amit, what are your thoughts on AMD, Broadcom, NVIDIA? I think if you buy those three, you have to understand the semiconductor industry, which is why I'm not invested in them. But I do think after Jensen's keynote, it is undeniable. And we'll talk more about this later. I was talking about this with Adam, but it's very hard to fade NVIDIA given what he talked about. Like, it does feel like this is going to be a multi-year revolution, and NVIDIA is going to find ways to grow even outside of GPU sales. And look, Microsoft's spending $80 billion this year. It is what it is. If we know Microsoft's spending $80 billion this year, then I think NVIDIA continues to get a bid, at least in 2025, and then probably going into 2026, 2027 with robotics and the autonomy business that they're going for as well. Yeah, let me do a poll. Spencer says wallpaper is real, the bricks aren't. Dude, it's not wallpaper. And Adam already said it's not wallpaper. I don't know what more you guys need. By the way, my dad called me at like 10 a.m. and he was mad, bro. He called me and he was like, why aren't stocks going up? And I was like, Dad, the market's closed. He's like, what? It was like, why are markets closed? It's like, what's? I was like, well, a president died. He was like, that was like a week ago. He's like, why are we closing it today? I was like, I'm also pretty confused, Dad, but nonetheless, that's what's happening right now. So he was pissed, bro. He was like, what? Why are stocks not going up? It's like, not even why are stocks like not moving. He's like, why isn't it going up? He just expected it to go up. And I'm like, it's closed. And he's like, he's at his job all day. But he's a junkie, bro. He's still a junkie. He cares about the market now, especially after the year he had last year. And so he's legit, like just confused. And he was like, why did we close the markets? I was like, well, that's the reason. That is the reason. Who wants to bet Amit can't say Adobe right? It's definitely Adobe. I can say Adobe right. It's not Adobe or something like that. It's Adobe. I've known that for a while. Maxime says, hi, Amit, I have a question. I don't know where to sell. I can easily buy, but I never know how to sell. Do you have any advice? Look, my advice, someone actually DM'd me today about, Palantir, and they're a little nervous with the 20% drop and if they should sell. My advice is pretty simple. You sell what you feel comfortable trimming so that you can sleep well at night. Like, don't make it complicated. You do not have to hodl forever. If you have 2,000 shares of Palantir and you're annoyed with the 20% drop and you're feeling a little uneasy and your average is in the teens and you want to take some profits, sell a couple hundred shares. Like, make yourself feel better about the fact that you took profits and that you're not literally hodling for the rest of eternity because of whatever emotional attachment you have. Like, it is what it is. It doesn't have to be that complicated, especially if you actually want the money. Like, if you want to sell 500 shares worth of Palantir and want to see that money in your account and maybe reallocate it, then do it. It's not a big deal. So to me, selling is very personal. It's based on what you need, based on what you want to do, based on definitely your emotional attachment to a stock or not to a stock. But you have to have clarity in your mind. And my clarity on Palantir and Robinhood is so strong that I have zero desire to sell. And whenever I get into a name, I'm looking for that clarity. I'm really I got to have that clarity to be so excited to know that I'm in this name for a long time. So, or, that's why I think learning about the options market is important. What if you sell some covered calls at 85? Now that Palantir is 68, kind of hard for it to get to 85, collect some premium. You got to get the itch off some way, but you can't feel the anxiety of oh my God, I need to take profits. And then I'm not doing it. And then the stock falls and I feel bad for not taking profits, because then you're going to go crazy and your mental health is, not worth it at that point. So it really depends on that. But you can't blame anyone for not selling. You got to be a big boy in the markets. If Palantir goes back to 30, you cannot blame Carp. You cannot blame anyone else. It's your money, you're investing. That's the beauty of financial markets. It offers financial freedom on an autonomous, individualistic way. When you make a lot of money, that's on you. That's on no one else but you. No matter how much credit you want to give to anyone, it's you. It's not even because of the CEO. It's because you invested in the CEO's company. It's all you. That's the beauty of America. We believe that it's you if you fail, it's you if you win. And so you got to have the big boy pants on when it comes to whether you sell or continue to buy. But I agree. I also suck at selling. I'm not good at selling. The reason I sold the Robinhood options was because I had to, because it's expiring soon. But I'm not the best at taking profits. It's definitely a skill. Peter Thiel, very good at taking profits. That guy just sells really early every time. But he definitely secures a profit, even if he sells kind of early. Okay, what else do we got? Well, let me ask the question again, what you guys did today, because I missed some of the comments. I read a couple of them, but what did you guys actually do today on this market close? And were you guys fiends all day like me? Even though I wasn't that much of a fiend, because I was with Adam all day. Also, I got to play him in chess. I got cooked in chess, bro. Well, it wasn't an easy, I'm white right here. We got all the way to the end. I got cooked, but he only had a queen left. It's not like he would it's not like he checkmated me with his ELO is 1100 to give context. My ELO is I don't even have an ELO. So I got cooked, but I got cooked at the end. I didn't get cooked in a couple moves, or I didn't get trapped. I should have castled in one of these moves to protect my rook, and I completely messed it up. But no, Adam's really good. He's really good at chess. So that was fun. I got to play chess because I haven't played chess in a long time in person with someone. Adon pre-ordered the new Pokemon set coming in March. Super hyped. That's cool. I was talking to my friend the other day. I mean, literally last night, my boy Andrew, who skipped a job at Bloomberg. He's like 23 to start his own Pokemon business. And he's doing very well in the Pokemon business. Like, we're talking about streaming, selling Pokemon cards over the internet. Like, he's killing it. He's crushing it. And I told him a year ago, I was like, bro, fuck Bloomberg. I was like, fuck that 9 to 5. You're going to be stuck in these Excel sheets, unhappy. You already have a passion for Pokemon. You already have a little business. Just try to go all in on it. And he did, and it's working. And now he's thinking of expanding. It's like, it's sometimes when you put your mind to something and you really grind, and he's grinding, bro. Like, he's like 10 hours a day, just constantly in the business. There's so much that can happen when you put your mind to it. I'm just trying to show off his nails. Dude, they're getting dirtier now. I gotta schedule the next mani-pedi. Zocold said I got a massage with the wife. That's great. That sounds like a relaxing day. That's awesome. Rogoff said I did stock research, baby. The grind doesn't stop. I love it. Snow in Dallas played with the kids. That's great. I would imagine that schools in Arkansas are closing down tomorrow, and schools in LA obviously have to be closed down based on the damage that we saw, which is very, very bad. Do you mean Teal sold Palantir? Yeah, he sold Palantir in Facebook really early. I mean, Palantir he sold at $35. Obviously, it was a decent market cap for him to sell, but given what's happened, we've had some more momentum. And then Facebook, he sold at IPO. Facebook went to $1 trillion, dude. He sold it at $40 billion. So, and he sold a majority of it. He didn't even it wasn't a small amount. But Teal's good at selling, even if he sells early. He keeps his profits, and he's admitted that he kind of sucks at selling too, or sucks at timing the sell. Spencer, I woke up at noon. Okay, Spencer, I'm assuming you trade for a living or something, because no one with a job necessarily can wake up at noon. And given all your fees you give to Robinhood, I imagine you have to be trading for a living. Michelle said, been chilling with my cousins. Mom made food for our cousins. They lost a loved one. Sorry for that. Thoughts and prayers on losing a loved one. Always nice to spend some time with your mom, though. Me and Adam got to talk with my mom as well. He got to meet my mom today. He was giving my mom too many praises, bro. He's like, you did a really good job raising him. He's a good kid. I was like, all right. Come on now. I was like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we don't got to gas her head up like that. You know what I'm saying? We can gas Michelle's mom's head up because she's created this child who can make all these amazing cakes. That deserves some gassing up. But he was like, he's doing so well. He's doing his thing. He's learning. So I was like, all right, buddy, you came over to talk to me, not to gas up my mom here. She's going to get too big of a head. You keep saying this type of stuff. So no, it was awesome. It was cool. You trade for a living? Okay. That makes more sense. Yeah. No one can wake up at 12, bro. Not if you have a job, unless you work from home. You guys that work from home, you probably wake up at fucking 3:59 and just make sure I know all the tricks, bro. Everyone they just you have to hover your mouse a little bit, shows you're a little active, right? Shows the green light. All of you guys that work from home, fucking work 1 hour a day, maybe, and just show a little bit of movement so that your project managers know that you're doing stuff. Or worse, you are a project manager, then you're not doing anything. I know how this works, bro. I know how this works. Moon Machine says, I'm self-employed. Time doesn't matter to me. That's the cool thing about being self-employed. That's the cool thing. I've been self-employed for a while, but obviously the bad thing is you don't have any freaking healthcare. That part sucks. Or benefits and shit. But you do get to have your own schedule, which is nice. It's not horrible. Unbeneficial says, I work from home, but they do what they can to keep me busy. Yeah, dude, because they want to make sure they're paying you to be productive, but they can't keep you productive for 8 hours if you work from home. There's no way. Because you're going to do your own shit. You're at home. What are they going to say? You're at home. You do your own shit. Amid TikTok just confirmed it's getting shut down. Wait, actually, is that a thing? They just confirmed it? Yeah, TikTok says it plans to shut down site unless Supreme Court strikes down law forcing it to sell. All right, folks, we're done with TikTok. we're done with TikTok. We're done with TikTok, dude. It's kind of sad. I kind of like scrolling through TikTok sometimes. I kind of enjoy it. There it goes. Meta, long Meta tomorrow, bro. I think at 8 p.m., Meta's up 5%. I think at 8 p.m. on overnight markets, Meta is up 5%. There's 170 million people. What are they going to do? What am I going to do? I'm going to go to Instagram. I'm going to watch more of Michelle's cake reels. Like, it's just that simple. If you're not on TikTok, you go to IG or you go to YouTube Shorts. Like, long Meta and Google on this. If TikTok shut down, Supreme Court doesn't do shit about it, long Meta Google. It's just that simple. What else do we have here? Amazing news for humanity. I mean, it's definitely good news for national security. That's important. It is sad though for some of the influencers because, like, again, you can build a nice business on IG and, like, market it and go viral and stuff. And, like, Michelle's an example of that, right? There's a way for things to go viral and get exposure and attention, but TikTok's just another avenue to get that attention, right? And, like, sometimes certain videos go viral on TikTok that don't go viral on Instagram, and that can change. I mean, I've seen a decent amount of businesses that like go from 0 to million in revenue just based off TikTok videos that go viral. And it's like if that goes away tomorrow, all of that business comes to Instagram, all of it. I don't even think a lot of it comes to YouTube Shorts, quite frankly, because YouTube's a different game with vertical video, but Instagram is very similar to TikTok, and that is very, very good for Meta. Marcel says, I get more views on Insta. Yeah, see, some things get more views on different, like on TikTok, there's other types of videos that are more attractive to the demographics. But the point is, if Instagram gets all these users, then Instagram just gets to eat a lot more. Benny says, my girl's on TikTok too much anyway, so good. Well, TikTok, Benny, you're in the UK, though. TikTok's not getting banned in the UK. It's getting banned in the US. Unless your girl's in the US. But, yeah, that is going to be wild tomorrow if they get rid of it. Are you telling me to buy Meta? I'm not telling you to buy Meta, especially because if we have a correction in large caps, Meta's still taking a hit. But definitely, I feel like Meta gets a bump off this TikTok news. Now, granted, it could fall back down if, whatever happens with tariffs, all this stuff. But the point is, this is absolutely bullish for Meta. Absolutely bullish for Meta. Google relaunches Google Plus again. I don't think that's happening. That would be weird if they do that. Google Plus was a failure, bro. I remember in 2009 when it came out, 2011, I was like, what is this? There was all these circles and shit. I was like, what the fuck? This is very weird. Stock Talk with Cody. Thank you for the $5 super chat. Your videos are the best. You inspired me to start a YouTube channel talking about stocks. I just want to say thank you. I love it. Stock Talk with Cody. That is super, super awesome. If you ever want to do a podcast or interview or anything, let me know. And I can definitely hop on your channel. That's super cool. I think everyone, if you want to make content, you just get out there, start doing it, and you never know what could happen. Bobby, thank you for the £5. See, I'm learning, folks. I'm learning. That's a pound. I don't even need to look at anything. Hi, Amit. What's your opinion on AI agents taking over financial advisors? I think they will commoditize some version of financial advice, but for the far majority of people, they want to talk to a real person. So there will be some like robo advisory that's like really good. But I think a lot of people are still going to want to talk to a human. Like if you've got $10 million, you're going to want to talk to a human being. You don't want some algorithm doing the advice for you. So yeah, it's definitely going to be a threat to the industry, but not a threat to the point where enough of the industry is like gone overnight. But maybe they get so good that it is gone. But if that's the case, I think it takes a while. I don't think it happens overnight, which is why Robin had bought that advisory company, right? Because ultimately you have more high net worth people. They actually want to talk to like a real person. Doug says, remember Google Plus was also invite only. You couldn't just sign up for it. You had to have someone else invite you. It's the same way they rolled out Gmail and it was stupid on both sides. Yeah, I remember my mom invited me to Google Plus, and it was just like not real. It was just like, it was so weird. Because at that time, Facebook was a thing, dude. Even in my generation, Facebook was like a real thing. Where's Bitcoin? Bitcoin 92. All right, so we're back above 91, which is nice on Bitcoin. Not bad. 92.2. I hope this thing goes up to 95 by 8 p.m., but I don't know if that's going to happen. Wasn't there a group of American investors planning on buying TikTok? Yeah, that's why I'm confused by this headline, because Kevin O'Leary said he had a deal ready to go, but TikTok today, they are saying they're going to shut down. From 2 hours ago, I'm looking at this article. They're saying, yeah, we plan to shut down. So if that headline is true, I think Meta gaps up 5%. If that headline is not exactly accurate, then Meta probably doesn't really move. But we have to see if that headline actually becomes a thing. Do people still go on Clubhouse? Dude, it would surprise you. Clubhouse, do you guys remember Clubhouse, the audio app? That thing is still number 30 on news on iOS. I don't know who the hell is going on Clubhouse. Number 17 in news, dude. Like, who's listening to Clubhouse conversations? I don't get it. This company is worth $4 billion, bro. This company's worth like $4 million, bro. They raised, this was 2021 bubble startup valuations, $4 billion on this thing. They've yet to monetize because they don't believe in advertising. It's like, okay, you don't believe in advertising, that's fine, but no one's gonna easily subscribe to listen to these guys. Like, I have no idea how this company is still around or how they're like still even sort of. They were thinking of making a couple Clubhouse coin back in 2021 when Web3 was a thing. That failed. Web3 is like not really a thing anymore. So I don't know. It's really hard to build consumer tech, especially in a space where you don't have the content that lives forever. Like, you know, and the Clubhouse doesn't have an algorithm, right? It's like it's like a live content, so your content doesn't live to get more distribution. But it's still ranked at number 17 on iOS. Amit, what's your average on grabs? Did you say yesterday you hit your target? Yes, my average is basically 475 to 479. Which is correlated with the option price that I got my spreads at, which are at 35 cents. So I guess 35 cents is the actual average, but it correlates with the price of like 470 to 480. And I think we ended yesterday at like 462. But yeah, the option spread price is very volatile and it's very illiquid because there's not a lot of people in that spread. So that one could be down like 20% one day. It could be up 20% one day, but it's, you know, it's going to take time for that to mature. But basically, I would call it 480 is my average on grab. And I will only add if we get back into the low fours, like 410, 420, then I'll add back. But if not, then like I'm not going to add at 450, 440, because at this point I've already made the position. Apparently, O'Leary and other investors want to buy TikTok, but ByteDance is saying that it's not for sale. All right, so there you go. No sale of TikTok to the US. Not happening today, at least. Clubhouse was toxic for me. No, it was definitely toxic, bro. It was a very weird thing. And it was a big thing when everyone was at home in 2020, but from the pandemic, but now it's, you know, everyone came outside. Shout out to Sadiq for the follow. I love it. Again, this is Michelle's Instagram. I want to put it here. And you know, she didn't tell me to do this or anything, but I love this community. And if we can support each other, then that's an awesome thing. So if anyone's in Houston, there is her bakery. If you guys want to order something or you have a wedding coming up, a birthday coming up, anything like that, these cakes are incredible, dude. I have so much respect for this type of artistic talent because I could never be this artistic because I suck at art, dude. Like, the only thing I know how to do is talk. That's it. That's all I can do, bro. That's literally it. I can do nothing else other than talk. Like, I suck at everything else. I literally suck at everything else. That's all I can do. If TLT keeps selling off, will the Fed start buying bonds? No, I don't think the Fed's saving the bond market. The Fed's going to let this shit collapse. Like the bond yields would have to get at like freaking 6.5% before the Fed steps in. I don't think the Fed's stepping in. Also, we had a Fed president today who said the December rate cut was the last rate cut, which is really annoying. That's probably not going to be the best for markets either tomorrow. Tomorrow, we do get non-farm payrolls. I like TLT though, dude. I think TLT... I kind of think the 10 years topping, and if the 10 years freaking topping, TLT should get back to 100 at least within a year, and you get a yield on it. I haven't made a position in it yet, but I think more and more that this 10-year is unsustainably high. Like, we cannot have rates this high based on the national debt. Mortgage rates are what? We're gonna have mortgage rates at 9%? Really? Like, good luck. That's not happening, bro. Trump's not letting when all else fails, Trump is not letting this market collapse. That is my belief. Trump is not letting us get into some massive, epic, cataclysmic crash. He is going to fucking make sure what he needs to do to keep this market alive. There might be some weakness, volatility. I get it. But I don't think he's letting us crash and let rates go up to 10% in terms of mortgage rates. So I don't know. I think TLT will be okay, but money has outflowed. There's been $8 billion that outflew TLT over the past month. So people are getting a little bit more bearish on yields actually coming down. So Fed's Bauman today said the December interest rate cut should be the last, which is ridiculously bearish for no reason. This was the same person, Michelle Bauman, who voted against the 50 basis point cut in September. So yeah, this one is she's a bit more bearish. We should refrain from prejudging the income administration's future policies. The current stance of policy may not be as restrictive as others may see it. Again, hawkish. Inflation is elevated and I see upside risks. Progress has stalled. Hawkish. I prefer a cautious and gradual approach to adjusting policy. It's a hawk. Completely hawkish statements. Market's not going to love it. We need inflation coming down. We need inflation coming down. Amit yesterday, I can sing. I'm a comedian. I will be the best in the markets. Amit today, all I can do is talk. I can use my voice. I'll just say that. Sometimes my voice is funny. Sometimes my voice sounds good. Like my falsetto is good. Falsetto's not bad, but more likely than not, all I can do is talk. Cakes by Michelle is like 2 miles from my house. All right, there you go. I love it. Doug, you got to order a Palantir cake. Doug, order a Palantir cake and like you because you're right next to her, so you actually could do it. And we got to see what she comes up with. Like it's got to be the most decked out Palantir cake ever. And let's see what Michelle can come up with. You can even sell options on TLT premiums. They aren't the best, but it might as well wheel it. Yeah, that's another reason I like TLT. You can definitely sell options against it, which is not horrible either. Does anyone think Tesla will pump tomorrow based on the Elon interview last night? Okay, so let's look at some clips of what Elon said last night. Elon was going off on robots last night. Before that, let me show you guys this video. So this is Malibu when they had the $1 million houses versus today. I mean, dude, this is insanity, dude. Look at that. Look at those houses on the beach. Gone. Just gone. Completely gone overnight because of a fire. It really does look like the apocalypse there, bro. Like it really does. If anyone's in LA, and let me know in the chat kind of how you're looking at this, but this is tough, bro. These are multi-million dollar properties. Like we're talking about the richest of the richest houses in the world, not just in, the United States, but these are like Malibu beachfront properties. This is shit like you need fuck you money to buy this type of stuff. Gone overnight. It's just insane. It's absolutely insane. Okay, the robotic stuff. So let me pull this up. Elon Optimus. He said a bunch of things last night. I don't even know he was doing this interview, but he did this interview with somebody. So this is one clip on what he said about Optimus robots.
And we're aiming to have several thousand of those built this year. Initially, we'll test them out at Tesla factories, but then assuming things go well, we'll 10x that output next year. So we'll aim to do maybe 50 to 100,000 humanoid robots next year, and then 10x it again the following year. It's like 500,000 robots in 3 years. That's a lot.
That is a lot.
Yeah. I was telling you guys, like, well, maybe we should think of this in terms of Roman legions. How many? And
I'm going to get a better clip because that one's kind of quiet. But he said we want to do 50,000 robots next year and then 10x that. So we're talking about 5 million robots the next year. That means 2026 or 2027, which is like, I mean, that's a lot of robots. That's a lot of freaking robots. Or sorry, 500,000, not 5 million. But the point is 50 to 500,000. But still, that's a lot of robots, bro. That's a decent amount of the industry starting to have some more momentum. Here's a better one. The audio should be good here. We have some chapters, so let's listen to a little bit of this stuff. Yeah, so let's listen to this again. We'll get some more content here, and then we'll keep watching. But I mean, dude, that's bullish robots. That's bullish NVIDIA. That's bullish Figure, bullish Apptronic, bullish these startups. It's very, very bullish for that overall industry.
So that's the other element is our humanoid robots. So I think probably most people, if not everyone, would like to have their own personal C-3PO R2-D2. And I actually think humanoid robots will be the biggest product ever in history by far.
I agree.
Yeah, it's just wild because you can just say, well, every human is going to want one most likely, and some will want two, and then there'll be all of industry in terms of providing products and services. So that you have to say, what's the ratio of humanoid robots to humans? My guess is it's at least 3 to 1, 4 to 1, maybe 5 to 1. So we're talking about 20, 30 billion humanoid robots. And it's not even clear what money means at that point, or if there's any meaningful cap on the economy. I think at that point, assuming that...
And think about it. All these firefighters that are risking their lives fighting this fire, robots should be doing that, right? Like that. And that's just one use case of a million things that we put our lives on as human beings that eventually will die one day. We are risking our lives. Let the fucking robot do it. Well, you know, if the robot dies, we'll make another robot. But human beings, like, why would we risk our lives doing this shit? And like, I could just, the use cases are endless. And it does feel like, as Jensen said, that ChatGPT moment is around the corner for these robots.
That things haven't gone awry. In the good AI scenario, I think we won't have universal basic income, we'll have universal high income.
So do you think 5 years for my first robot, or?
For Tesla, our Optimus robot really is, unless somebody's got something secret we don't know about, our Optimus robot is the most sophisticated humanoid robot in the world. It's got a hand that has 22 degrees of freedom. It looks and feels like a human hand. And we're aiming to have several thousand of those built this year. Initially, we'll test them out at Tesla factories. But then, assuming things go well, we'll 10x that output next year. So we'll aim to do maybe 50 to 100,000 humanoid robots next year, and then 10x it again the following year. It's like 500,000 robots in 3 years. That's a lot.
That is a lot.
Yeah. I was telling you guys, like, well, maybe we should think of this in terms of Roman legions. How many legions of robots will we have? Like, a Roman legion is 5,000.
So when will we have a colony on Mars?
I think we'll be able to send the first uncrewed spacecraft to Mars in 2 years. So Earth and Mars synchronize every 2 years. And so we're at a synchronous point right now. So then the next one will be in roughly 2 years from now. And then there'll be 2 years from then, there'll be another one. So for the first trip, obviously, we want to make sure that we can land Starship without crashing. We need to prove that we can land Starship on Mars without incrementing the crater count. And if those land safely, then maybe on the next trip, we would send people. And then hopefully that would grow exponentially.
It's wild, bro. It's absolutely wild. So I think this robotics market is going to be one of the biggest markets we've ever seen. And I think there's going to be a lot of value that's created. Now, again, I know Elon's ambitious with the timelines. Elon's a very good marketer. He knows how to talk his book. And maybe we are further away than next year, but it's coming. It's like, I don't think this is a decade away. I think the first real robots inside of factories doing stuff programmed to help with natural disasters, like this is coming in a couple of years, I think. And if that's the case, market's going to price that in before it realistically happens. And that should result in more momentum for a lot of the startups in the space, and hopefully for Tesla as well. And look, if Elon's right about their robot's the best robot, maybe that's the reason they haven't been showing off too many videos. Maybe they've just been trying to like keep it with them, and they know they're going to be the iOS of this market, and there's going to be plenty of Android, which I think the Android is going to be very valuable, even if there is an iOS. And then Tesla eventually lets it loose, and we start to see these robots in production. 0% chance the firefighter unions will allow robot firefighters. Well, yeah, I mean, look, so here's the question, right? When a natural disaster happens like this, I wonder if the firefighters feel the purpose of their life is to fight the fire, literally, and they want to risk their life going into it, which some of them probably do. Or you have some of them saying, you know what, I have a wife and kids, and I don't want to do this. And, you know, I will fight a regular fire that's, you know, not risking my life, but I'm not going to fight this shit. I'll let the robot do that. And maybe that's what the purpose of the robot is for like the really, really horrible natural disasters. I think there's got to be a balance in it. Obviously, the question of jobs is going to be very, very important. And I don't have an answer to that. No one has an answer to that. None of these startup founders that are building these companies, they're going to replace humans with robots, have an answer to that. Which is why my only answer is you have to be invested in those companies. You have to be part of the investor class that participates in the upside, even if the downside is a lack of jobs. Because the downside is economically, that means less people have money to spend on goods and services, which is bad for everyone. But at least you're in the names that are benefiting from selling the robots, and you're participating in whatever upside that creates in terms of revenue. There might be a world where the United States has a robot tax, bro, and they just tax the shit out of Tesla. And literally, I think there's a world where Elon's like, yeah, I mean, like if I just replaced 1 million people and I have, 80% margins and stuff, like I kind of like Elon won't be able to walk down the street. There will be, capitalism gets to a point where if there's that much inequality, the game ends. You can't have the game end. That everyone has to feel again like they have a chance to win in the game. Even if the chances are unequal, you have to feel like you have a chance. As soon as people start feeling like there is no shot for them to win because there's literally no jobs, no infrastructure, nothing, because everything's being replaced, that's when people revolt. And we've seen this in history time after time after again. And I think Elon's going to be smart enough to even realize how to navigate that as well. So I don't know what the answer to this is going to be from a governmental perspective, whether it's universal basic income, universal high income, whatever it is. But something's going to have to happen if the robots actually do replace everyone. Again, I do think it's far away, though. I think it's very far away before the robots legitimately replace people. I think they're going to be coming out soon in the next couple of years, but replacing millions of people, I think that's going to take some time. Spencer says, I'm 1000% buying an Optimus the day it's released. See, but I don't even care about the Optimus as my own personal robot. I think of it more so as Amazon buying 1 billion robots or Walmart buying 1 billion. That's where I see the real market opportunity. But yes, obviously a personal robot is super bullish. And if Elon's right that we're going to have 2 to 3 to 1 or 10 to 1 is what he said in terms of humans versus robots. Like even if it's 3 to 1, that's 8 billion people, assume 3 billion people can actually buy the robots. So 3 to 1 is 9 billion robots. Like wild, bro. Absolutely freaking wild. And yeah, I could see the robot. I mean, look, so when I drove an FSD today, again, perfect ride with Adam in it. That me and Adam were talking the whole time. We were having a real conversation for those 15 minutes. I wasn't on my phone, but we were talking. And I really didn't have any fear, even on the highway, that they would make a mistake. And that is what I mean by productivity opening up by these robots. So imagine if you gotta, you just don't feel like doing the laundry and the robot's able to do it. And you can just do your own work. You can do more day trading like Spencer is doing. And she can keep juicing up the Robinhood fees, which is good for me as an investor. And she doesn't have to worry about the laundry because the robot's doing it. Like there's so many ways I see this opening up productivity long term. So I definitely do think it's going to be pretty bullish. Amid, have you seen Rocky 4? They have Optimus robots in that, dude. I haven't seen Rocky 1, Rocky 2, Rocky 3. I don't I'm gonna get killed in the chat for this. I haven't watched it before, so I don't one day I've got to watch it. I know it's a boxing movie, I think, right? It's a boxing movie, right? He runs down the stairs in Philadelphia. There's that scene or something. But so see, now people are gonna get mad. But I haven't watched it. Between Grab, Hood, and Palantir, which one do you think has a clear path to a 10x in market cap in the next 15 years? It's a good question. I mean, I think Palantir can 10x from here, but I don't think it's in 15 years. I think it might take some more time for that to happen. Because we're talking about what? Basically 150 billion to 1.5 trillion. Yeah, I don't know. That's going to be a little tough in the next 10 years. I think 1 trillion, though, is possible. So I think 5x, or at this point, it would be 6x. For Hood to 10x, it would have to go from what? 30 billion to 300 billion. I actually think that's a lot more doable because Hood is purely based on market momentum and they're a consumer product. Again, Palantir is not a consumer product, so they have to get a lot of B2B contracts. Hood just needs to get more users. I mean, if Hood goes to India, Singapore, Malaysia, I mean, Hood can expand across the world and get hundreds of millions of users on their platform and get hundreds of billions, if not trillions of assets. Schwab has 60 trillion in assets. Schwab has 400. How many assets? I think Schwab assets total. It's like 90 trillion of assets or something. Sorry, I'm being too aggressive. 9 trillion of assets. Hood has less than 200 billion in assets. So if Hood can get to 1 trillion in assets, yeah, I think that 10x is actually a lot more reasonable. The thing about Palantir, if it was back at like 30, 40 bucks, I would say Palantir. But the problem is it ran up so quick that all of those, Palantir already is 10x from the lows, right? And so because it's already 10x from the lows, it's just going to be harder to do another 10x from all-time highs without a little bit of weakness. Grab to 10x, Grab at 20 billion. But see, Grab can probably 10x, I think, easier than Hood because Grab is cheaper. It has a lot of cash. It's in a big region. Now, Grab's margins are shit though, so that's one of the problems. But I think all three will do very well. Which one ever 10x is, I have no idea. Doug says, not in 10 years, $1 trillion ain't going to be what it used to be, bro, because you're going to be talking about what. Yeah, that's true. $1 trillion. No, that is a good point. But $1 trillion for Palantir isn't a 10x. let's just assume Palantir is at 200 billion. A trillion is, I mean, a 10x is 2 trillion. Again, if Palantir was at 100 billion, it would be easier to say the 10x. But now that it's at basically 200, 170, whatever it's at, it's gonna be harder. But I do agree. In 10 years, we're gonna have, we already have $9 trillion companies. We're probably gonna have 20 to 25 trillion, I would say, by 2035-ish, definitely by 2040. So a trillion isn't going to be as crazy as it was before. That is fair. I've asked you that before and you didn't answer. Amit, have you watched Harry Potter? Yes, I've seen Harry Potter. I've seen that one. I'm a Harry Potter guy, but not like if I'm bored, I wouldn't turn on Harry Potter. And I've had, like I've seen it before and I thought about like, hey, what, like even during the holidays, I thought, but then I was like, I don't know. I don't get so emotionally wrapped in the movie where I actually turn it on TV. Like I would watch The Dark Knight over Harry Potter again, even though I've seen The Dark Knight a billion times. But I like Harry Potter. It's not bad. I'm not obsessed with it like a lot of other people. Jacob, thank you for the €5. Amit, when is the Miami meetup be? Will you have a new interview with some CEO soon? So Miami meetup, I was actually talking about that with Adam today because he definitely wants to come by to that. I don't know the date yet, but definitely thinking, maybe March. That is on the docket potentially. Don't know if that's going to happen, but I want to do it during the winter in the East Coast so that we can get away from the winter. But I don't know. I don't know yet. If you signed up for the New York City thing, you're probably going to get added to a group soon. I think I'm going to do it through WhatsApp, not Telegram, because I thought WhatsApp didn't allow you to have the function where you can send a message and people can't respond. So it's like an announcement type of group. I thought it was only Telegram, but WhatsApp allows that. So if you signed up on that form, you will get a message soon. But Miami, I hopefully in March. If not March, then maybe April or May. And then interview with a new CEO soon. I'll just say stay tuned. That's it. I'll just say stay tuned. That's all I can say. That's all I can say for that one. That's all I can say. Spencer says I'd rather watch paint dry over Harry Potter. Okay, so I don't hate Harry Potter that much. Okay, not that much. Some of you guys last night though were saying that Titanic is not a good movie. No, bro. Titanic top 10 all time. Titanic's up there. Titanic's top 10 all time. Top 10 all time. No one can deny that, dude. Titanic's top 10. Like just the sheer, it won 11 Oscars. Like what? Not top 10 movie all time? See, Titanic is, no, Nate. Titanic is not shit. You could say it's not the best movie of all time. I'll give you that. You could even say it's not top 10. I'll give you, top 20. I get it. Maybe top 25. But it's in the top 25. We're not going to be crazy here, bro. Titanic's up there. When have Oscars mattered? I'm just saying, bro. 11 Oscars. And the crime is Leo didn't win Best Actor for that. Leo should have won Best Actor that year. They've snubbed Leo so many times. And I feel like it's a Hollywood conspiracy because Wolf of Wall Street, he should have won. The scene where he's being dragged to his Lamborghini when he's high off Quaaludes, that scene alone should have justified Best Actor of the year. That scene alone, but I don't know who they gave it to in 2013, but it wasn't Leo. They gave it to him after that movie where he was trapped in the forest. I never watched that movie. I thought that movie was weird, but I forgot the name of it too. And I feel like that was a pity that they gave. They was like, all right, he finally deserves it. But Titanic, he should have got it. And I think he was too young. That's the thing. He was too young in the industry. And if the industry gave it to him at that age, he would have been like way ahead of his time, even though he deserved it. But it won Best Movie of the Year. And I think it was just, even though it was 4 hours and it was still such a good movie. Such a good movie. Revenant. Yeah, that's what it's called. Revenant. Dude, I don't like these movies where they're in the forest fighting a bear and shit, dude. I need action. This is why Wolf of Wall Street, it satisfies my hunger for new scenes every single second. Like I need something happening and there's so much shit happening every 5 minutes. Those are the movies that get my attention. Otherwise, it's hard. Have you watched Hairspray? I watched that a long time ago. I remember that movie. It's been a long time. I haven't seen it in a while. That was a good movie, though. It was a good movie. It was a long time ago. That was like 2009, right? That was a while. That was a while ago. I definitely watched Twilight. I like Twilight. Twilight was great. I didn't see all the sequels of Twilight, but the first one was amazing. But then they kind of stretched it with like because the books became movies and stuff. So I didn't love it. But Titanic was good. Yeah, leave Rose and Jack alone, bro. Rose and Jack were the first like legit, I think, not movie couple, but one of those couples that was iconic in terms of movies. I mean, I'm sure there's plenty of them out there, but Rose and Jack, bro, that's like they became part of pop culture. Like, you know, like people would say, like, you're my Rose. Like it's one of those things where it was a big deal. Crossroads says it feels like a week since the market's been open. Yeah, dude. Well, we have 4 hours left, and at 8 p.m. we get the overnight markets again, which are going to be nice, but it will take a little bit of time before we can get our itch tonight. Nate says I'm Gen Z and I've seen more movies. That's fine. Your movie takes are still horrible, Nate. Like Titanic's top 10. I don't know what you're talking about. Titanic's top 10. It is what it is. It is what it is. Matthew McConaughey beat out Leo in Dallas Buyers Club. So I've never seen Dallas Buyers Club. What is that movie about? Dallas Buyers Club. A cowboy diagnosed with AIDS in the mid 1980s. Okay. Haven't seen it. Doesn't sound interesting to me. Wolf of Wall Street sounds way more interesting than this thing, but okay. Look, I can't argue with Matthew McConaughey. He's up there as one of my goats in terms of actors. But that movie doesn't sound that interesting. It doesn't really sound that interesting. I'm sorry, dude. It is what it is, dude. It is what it is. It just says, please, let's not talk about movies. Oh my gosh. All right. What else? What else do we have going on? What else do we have going on? If the robot dies, who cares? Make another. It's official. Amit is the first to die in the real life iRobot remake. But yes, you are right. Bullish Tesla. It's true though, right? If we sent robots to die in a forest fire, okay, so what? It's a robot. There's no emotions. Now, obviously the counter angle is like, well, what if the robots, get emotions and the robots don't want to go into which when you get AI to its logical extreme, why would a robot go into a burning building? Like even the robot would be like, now you could say, well, we programmed the robot for like doing what we tell it to do. But at some point, if the robot truly has artificial intelligence, then the robot's like, wait a second, I'm not doing that because then I'm like I'm gonna die, I'm gonna get burned. And so there is an argument where the robot says, screw you, I'm not doing that. And at that moment, we're fucked because then the robots legitimately have intelligence. But if somehow we can build AI safe enough where that doesn't happen, maybe we don't have an apocalypse. Okay, here's a question. How many people think humanity survives in the next 100 years? Because I personally don't think we get to the year 3000, even though I'm a Jonas Brothers fan. Okay, that was good. That was good. That was really fucking good. Anyway, I don't think we get to the year 3000. I don't think so. Like, I feel like some shit's going to happen before the year 3000. For the year 3000, it's going to be tough. Maybe we get to 2200 or 2100. Probably get to 2100, but yeah, do we survive 1,000 years? I don't think we survive 1,000 years. I think maybe we survive 100 years, but not 1,000. It's going to be tough. I don't understand the joke. The Jonas Brothers have a song called The Year 3000. I would play it if YouTube didn't copyright this shit. It's such a good song, dude. Jonas Brothers are the GOAT. Absolute GOAT. That's true. We will be long gone. I'll be long gone before 3000. Did you guys see this clip? Hold on. I got to show you this clip of Brian Johnson, the guy who doesn't want to die. He did a new podcast. And this was a very interesting segment he did. Curious what you guys have to say about this. So Barry Weiss asked him, what do you think about the meaning of life? And do you want to die? And here's what he said.
Do you think that you're going to die?
No.
Really?
Yeah.
You think you're going to live forever?
Forever is not a concept the human mind can contemplate. But will we be able to radically extend life and beyond our preconceived imaginations? Yes. Will it happen before my natural limit right now, which is my life expectancy is probably like 80, 90, like something like that if I maintain my health. But the technology is moving so quickly that it will the species is going to either survive or die in this moment much sooner than my life expectancy would turn up.
I think a lot of people will hear about what you do or have already heard about it and think to themselves, he's spending all of his time trying to not die and
Mhm.
missing, obviously you've heard this, missing the things that make life life. You know, the wild, compulsive choice to jump in an ocean at midnight, or, you know, I'm just thinking about, you know, some of the high points of my life and probably yours before you started
Yeah.
Blueprint. What
Yeah.
do you say to that?
Yeah, I say let's just, I mean, it's very easy. Let's just imagine we're doing a thought experiment. We're hanging out with Homo erectus. They existed 1 million years ago. And we say to Homo erectus, tell us, what is the purpose of life? And they're going to grunt and be like, well, it's about hunting and gathering, and we're going to move our tribe, we're going to have more war. They wouldn't be able to tell you about quantum mechanics or about smartphones or antibiotics or about the electromagnetic spectra or about this new form of AI art. They're not concepts that they understand. And so they wouldn't be able to speak intelligently about what a beautiful life is, right? They're just so primitive in their thought processes. We are as primitive as Homo erectus as we are to AI. Like, we are equally as primitive. We cannot say anything intelligent about the future anymore. And so the idea that we somehow have mastered existence and that we know what the purpose of existence is so silly of a notion. So to me, the most powerful thing for each of us to do is to be incredibly humble and say, in this moment, we may not know anything, and it may be in our best interest to try to dissolve all of our preconceived notions on what it means and step into this frontier, because it may be the most extraordinary existence in this part of the galaxy.
I mean, look, he is trying to escape death, which, look, I don't judge him for that. You know, every human can do what they want to do. I don't know. My thing is more so, I kind of agree with how the interviewer framed the question, which is this concept of, you know, the purpose of life is to live it, and the obsession with trying not to die kind of takes away from the pursuit of enjoying life. I think there's something important when it comes to life of thinking about death from a philosophical perspective, but only in the fact that it reverse engineers how you then organize the structure of your life, because you realize there is a finite nature of your existence, and that means it will come to an end, which means it gives you a sense of urgency and a necessity to do something about the short amount of time that you have, right? And that's kind of the beauty of life. I feel like if you sum it up like that is the point of existence, to try to figure out that in the stock market, but try to figure out what to do while you're alive before it all ends. To try to escape that kind of feels like cheating on the test. And the test is, sorry, I was getting a phone call. The test is life, right? The test is life. Dude, why is this? There's this random number that's been FaceTiming me all day. And I'm like, who is this? And they're like, I'm gonna block this number. They're like, it's Taylor, pick up. And I'm like, I think you have the wrong number, bro. I don't know who the fuck Taylor is. Like, so they called me when I was at lunch. I was like, I don't know who the fuck this is. But yeah. Anyway, the point is, it's not carp, dude. It's not freaking carp. Anyway, the point is, yeah. I do you guys agree with that? Do you agree that there's like this nature of existence that is rooted in actually living and not trying to cheat death? Or is is the pursuit of trying to cheat death actually viable enough to forego living? Because that dude's life is so optimized, like he can't go out and have a burger. Like, that would fuck up his whatever years he's planning to live goes down the drain if he has one burger. So, like, he's very, very optimized in one way. So I don't know. I wouldn't do it in that way. It's not Joy Taylor, even though the controversy with her is going crazy. It's not Joy Taylor, but that's pretty wild. Okay, I'm blocking this call right now. All right, so we should be good. I don't know who that person is. I have no idea who that is. So what do you guys think? It's not my date from Grindr, bro. You guys are too funny. Spencer says IDK, I just vibe. I feel like that is the right answer as well, to an extent. He is sacrificing his experience to try to lengthen the experience for every human being to come. People don't give him enough credit. Well, no, I think that's fair. I mean, if he does solve the death problem, now granted, is that really good for humanity if no one dies? I mean, we definitely have enough resources to keep people alive for longer, but I don't know. Can everyone live to be 300 years old and still actually function as like being alive? I don't know. I definitely think these are very hard questions to answer. It's not Taylor the plumber. Goodness gracious, bro. It was a margin call. Oh my gosh. Armand, thanks for the $7 super chat. Are you more bullish on SoFi or Hood over the next 10 years? Where do you see that company going and your reasoning on being bullish on that company? I am more bullish on Hood, and my reasoning is very simple. There is a wealth transfer that's happening. $95 trillion is being passed down from boomers to millennials and Gen Z, and a lot of the money is going to come to Hood. So very, very simple thesis. And that's why I'm holding on to Hood for a long time. Also, again, Vlad's a founder, bro. There's a different energy, bro. It's a different freaking energy. He's a founder. He's different, bro. I love Noto, not a founder. It's just different. It's just that when you're a founder, you have a different level of care. Also, Robinhood's execution. I mean, it's undeniable how well they've architected and constantly innovated. So to me, it's Hood. And there'll be some bumps along the road, but they're still holding the 40s somehow. We've had all this market volatility, and they somehow ended that they had 40. Now that's probably going to go back to 38 if Bitcoin keeps staying at these levels. But I just think, and they've been getting upgrades every single week because I think the analysts are getting just more and more excited about their progress. Yeah, Crossroads says Hood easily. SoFi's good, but Hood is elite. I would agree as well. It's Taylor, the wallpaper guy. Dude, it's not like, I'm going to show you guys the picture again, even though you're seeing it every single day. It's not wallpaper. This was Adam's idea. He said, do you have a pen and paper? I need to write it's real for the picture. I was like, okay, there you go. It's real. It's real. It is absolutely real. It just is what it is. It is what it is. My mom heard you talking about Twilight. She said, are you team Jacob or Edward? So I got to look these guys up again. Edward was the vampire dude. Jacob was the guy. Jacob's Taylor Lautner, right? And Edward is like the British dude. Okay, let's do it for the chat. Let's see what the guy. What is the chat saying? I'm gonna do it as a poll. I have my answer already. Let's see what the poll says. Let's see. Let's see what you guys think. All right, so Jacob or Edward. I know my answer. I think I know who's going to win. All right, I'll just say mine before you guys vote. I'm Edward. I'm absolutely Edward. I am team Edward, bro. I'm team fucking Edward. Edward's a nice human being, even though Jacob was like, I think more aggressive or whatever. But I'm team Edward. Did Edward win? It's like 50-50. Edward was just like a good human from what I remember. The brief remembrance of the movie I have. Edward was like the nice guy that the girl falls in love with, I think. Jacob's like the aggressive dude trying to like win her back. But I'm Edward. Yeah, dude, I haven't seen Twilight for a long time. It's been so long since I've watched it. Never beating the allegations. Oh my gosh. Okay, let's listen to Elon talk more about AI. So he said a lot of more stuff about AI. So let me pull this up and let's listen to this part. What joke did he make? Why are people laughing? Hold on. What joke did he make?
Question, and in that vein, coming in the next decade, what do you think is going to be the greatest advances in technology that will affect people's lives? What should they be expecting to see here from technology in their lives?
Okay. I don't want to blow your minds, but AI is going to be big.
There's no way they laughed because of that, bro. They're laughing because it's Elon. They're not laughing because that was funny, because that was not funny. I'm sorry. I love Elon, but that was not funny.
I feel confident in that prediction. But the funny thing is, if you go back even 5 years ago, certainly 10 years ago, 10 years ago, even 15 years ago, I was saying AI is going to be this massive thing that has deep super intelligence, smarter than the smartest human. People thought I was kidding, and they thought that's ridiculous. There's no way a computer is going to be smarter than a human and be able to do all these complicated things. And now, the latest AIs are able to pass complicated tests better than most humans. Like they can pass the medical test better than like 80% of doctors or something. Or AI can diagnose a radiography better than most people who've been doing it their whole life. So that's just accelerating, obviously. And I think probably if you haven't seen Jensen's talk, it's excellent. And it really shows how much AI is advancing. And it's advancing on the hardware front, on the software front, in terms of data. This is like the new sort of thing is synthetic data, because we've actually run out of all the books, and you literally run out of, you take the entire internet and all books ever written and all interesting videos, like you don't need 1,000 cat videos that are exactly the same, but all the interesting videos. And you distill that down into tokens, essentially bits of information. And we've now exhausted all of basically the cumulative sum of human knowledge has been exhausted in AI training. That happened basically last year. And so the only way to then supplement that is with synthetic data, where the AI it'll write an essay, or it'll come up with a thesis, and then it will grade itself, and go through this process of self-learning with synthetic data, which is always challenging, because how do you know if it hallucinated the answer or it's a real answer? So it's challenging to find the ground truth. But it is pretty wild that AI at this point has run out of all human knowledge to train on, which is crazy.
AI not going anywhere, folks. See, again, Elon and Jensen like really doubling down on this. It's just, I was talking about this with Adam. It's like, dude, yeah, we might have some volatility, inflation, rates, yada, yada, but like the general macro trend is not stopping. It is, technology is moving forward, and we don't even know what that's going to mean for the amount of productivity and innovation that we see over the next few years. Gene just sent me this. Block is changing their ticker symbol from Square, SQ, to XYZ, effective January 21st. This is why I hate Block, bro. This is why I hate this company, dude. Like, what is this, dude? XYZ? What is this, dude? This is stupid. I mean, it's probably better than being SQ, because they were stuck at Square for so long. But this feels stupid. This feels so stupid. Oh, this video. Okay, so we got to talk about this. So I cannot believe that somehow whoever came up with the seating arrangement for President Carter's funeral put Donald Trump and Barack Obama sitting together instead of Obama and Biden. Like, this thing is crazy, bro. This thing is crazy. So there they are. They're going to take a seat, and you're going to see Obama sit next to Trump. This was the weirdest thing ever. Obama is Biden's boy, bro. Like, they're supposed to be best friends. Look at them. They're smiling. Look at them. They're talking right. Look at Obama. He's smiling. He is smiling. Michelle wasn't there. It was just Obama, but he's smiling, laughing with Trump. And I'm just like, wait a second. Why is he not sitting with his former vice freaking president of 8 years? And then you're going to have Kamala join soon. Look at them. They're literally they're having a freaking conversation, bro. Like, the media tells us these guys hate each other. They're laughing, having a conversation. Now there's Kamala. She's gonna come in. It's kind of weird because she didn't shake anyone's hand, and I thought she would, like, I don't know, just shake Obama's hand or something, or shake Trump's hand. Nope. She sits down, and then you're gonna notice Obama and Trump start talking, and she's gonna look back at them talking, and she's gonna be visibly annoyed. So look, she didn't say anything. I would imagine you shake their hand. Maybe that's not proper etiquette. I don't know. Look, they're talking. She turns back. She sees that, and she looks kind of mad. She looks kind of mad that Trump and Obama are boys, or at least acting like boys right now. And this is really weird, bro. It's an order of presidency. Yeah, but how does that make sense? Then wouldn't Kamala? I don't know, bro. Really? Is that? Well, maybe. Look, maybe you're right. Maybe that's the thing. But still, dude, it was very weird to see it like that. Because if Michelle was there, it wouldn't necessarily be an order. I mean, I guess the order would be also the number of seats in a row also determines the variables of order of presidency. So I don't feel like that's the best answer. Because what if there were 7 seats instead of 5 seats? Like the whole order would be changed. And so this was so weird. And then Biden's going to come in. Where's Biden? Is he in the, yeah, there's Biden coming in. And dude, even if it's an order of presidency, I would, I feel like if they're boys, they would sit. It was just so weird to see something like this. And then boom, there you go. That's what turned out today. So this whole thing was so weird seeing this today. That is the order of presidency, and then the sitting vice president goes to the front of the line. All right, well, I guess that's the reason. I didn't know there was any order to this. I thought someone just came up with a seating plan. I was like, dude, you're some horrible planners. Who the fuck comes up with a seating plan like that? That is awkward ass presidency order there. But nonetheless, that happened today, right? And then this thing happened yesterday, which was just sad, bro. To me, I couldn't believe this. But California's burning down, right? Like completely in shambles. And then this happens. And I think even Newsom couldn't believe that this was the case. So this is what Biden says in a press conference while California is literally burning down.
We got this notification yesterday their home is probably burning down. Today, parents are maybe still standing, I'm not sure. But the good news is, I'm a great grandfather as of today. I was granddaughter.
Notice the pause before people started clapping. Like, LA's burning down. On the bright side, I'm a great grandfather. That's what he said. I again, dude, it's not even to be political. It's just and I'm not saying Trump doesn't have his crazy moments where he says stupid stuff. Like I get it, but that was wild, bro. Wild. On the bright side of you losing your houses and people dying and firefighters literally going into what looks like hell, I became a great grandfather today. Like, how do you say that? And Newsom, to Newsom's credit, he took a minute before he started clapping and laughing for that, because even he was like, did he just say on the bright side?
I was granddaughter. Baby girl, baby boy. So I remember this day for about long research.
I mean, it's just wild, bro. It's wild. Not saying Trump doesn't have crazy moments as well. I get it, but like that was wild. I couldn't believe that. I couldn't believe when I saw that yesterday. I was like, wow, bro. Like, I'm sorry, no one cares if you're a great grandfather. That's amazing, and like, God bless you. That's amazing. But like, the state is burning down, and you're saying there is a bright side. There's no bright side to that, dude. That is just like, there's nothing exciting about that happening at the moment. And I think, this is probably part of the reason he lost. People were tired of this shit. People were absolutely tired of this shit. Or not him, but the entire, Democratic Party. But yeah, that was a Los Angeles fire press conference where he actually, took the time to speak about all this stuff. And then he talked about this grandfather stuff. Nonetheless, it was very weird. Yes, time and a place. Time and a place to this type of stuff. There's a lot of jokes you can make from this wildfire stuff, because obviously fire, and there's all these like, there's words you can put into this stuff. Like, there's a lot that's there, but like, there's a time and a place. Like, you don't make the jokes the day after, bro. Like, you don't, or the day of. It kind of like, I'm sure comedians are getting ready to put this into their set, and they're going to have, because, there's a lot of nuance to how you can talk about this from a political perspective. One argument you can make is that it's a lot of rich people that are losing their homes. Now, I don't think that's a good thing that rich people's houses are burning down. But the point is, there's definitely humor and ways you can incorporate comedy into it. If you're a good comedian, you can actually get people to laugh about this stuff. But like, not this early. Not this early. Not this early. The one good thing is at least they have money. Like, unfortunately in West Hollywood yesterday, a lot of stuff started burning down as well. And that's in neighborhoods that aren't as wealthy, but at least like there was a list of celebrities that lost their house. At least they have the money to get a new house. I mean, it would be worse if this was in, what's that place in California? It's, it starts with an I, Inglewood. If this was in Inglewood, yeah, those people are not going to have a ton of money to just buy a new house. Right. But like celebrities, multimillionaires, multi-billionaires, you know, if they survived it and they didn't pass, then you have more money to move on from it. But nonetheless, it's still freaking tragic. I think insurance companies are taking an L, bro. Or Compton, yeah. Imagine if it was Compton, bro. Compton would be bad as well. South Central, like like it would be in a very, very bad situation. Yeah, West Hollywood is rich. I mean, there's parts of West Hollywood that aren't rich. I've been to West Hollywood many times, but a decent amount of it is well off. Beverly Hills, that whole area. Insurance, I'm very curious to see. This is the ticker we need to be looking at tomorrow when it comes to insurance. The ETF, I was looking at this last night, IAK. This thing was actually up a good amount last year. I wonder if this thing tanks, given the insurance premiums that are about to get paid out. I would imagine the insurance industry has to get hit. It has to get hit. There's no way this industry makes it through Q1, Q2. Forget Q1 for the whole year, bro. Like the whole point of insurance is you pay a monthly fee to not have to get destroyed, like, you know, to have the comfort and security. But when your whole house burns down and the house is a $30 million house, I mean, the insurance is going to have to pony up at like 30 million bucks or whatever the package is. And if you're very wealthy, I would imagine you have some good home insurance, right? It's not a crappy policy. And if that's the case, that's a lot of premiums that are getting dished out. A lot of premiums. So I guess we're gonna have to see. I feel bad for the wildlife. Yeah, we haven't even talked about the wildlife element of that. Dude, even the trees are still standing. What are these houses made out of? It's sad, bro. It's sad. And I'm assuming, yeah, again, I think the comedians are going to really run with this and they're going to make a lot of jokes about it. But even they, I think, would take a couple of months before they full on attack this issue because, you know, they're going to run with it. Like they're going to have to run with it. But Biden straight up like, well, I got a granddaughter. It's like, dude, even if you had waited a little bit, but not in the midst of all this fire. Take a look at this video. I mean, this is crazy, bro. Crazy stuff. It literally looks like hell, right? Like whatever depiction of hell you have, it low-key looks like hell. Just constant burning everywhere. And, you know, I mean, there's a lot of political stuff associated with this as well. State Farm left this part of the region because they wanted to raise the premiums for this very reason, because they thought wildfires were an issue. And I believe, don't quote me on this, I might be wrong, but I believe the state of California and Newsom kind of like stopped them from raising the premiums. And they left. And, you know, now you start wondering, well, wait a second, why did we not allow them to raise the premiums, especially on people that can afford the premiums, because these people are rich. They can afford to pay a little bit more about this type of stuff. So I think there's definitely a lot of political angles to it. This is Rogan talking also about the fires potentially happening in 2024. Let me share this right here.
I talked to a fireman once. This is one of the reasons that freaked me out. And he was telling me, he goes, dude, one day, he goes, it's just going to be the right wind and fire is going to start in the right place and it's going to burn through LA all the way to the ocean. And there's not a fucking thing we can do about it. I go, really? He goes, yeah, we just get lucky. He goes, we get lucky with the wind. He goes, but if the wind hits the wrong way, it's just going to burn straight through LA and there's not going to be a thing we can do about it. Because these fires are so big, dude. When they're talking about like thousands of acres that are burning simultaneously with like 40-mile-an-hour winds, and the wind's just blowing embers through the air, and those embers are landing on roofs, and those houses are going up, and they're landing on bushes, and those bushes are going up, and everything's dry. And once it happens in a way where it's so spread out that there's nothing they can do. There's nothing they can do.
You just have to evacuate, right?
Nothing they can do. I talked to a fireman once. This is one of the reasons that
Wild, bro. Absolutely freaking wild. So I don't know, dude. I mean, there's definitely going to be economic impacts. That's a lot of fire, a lot of insurance premiums. I think this is going to definitely be, well, there's a world in which this is not inflationary, but there's a world where this is inflationary. You're going to get a lot more spending, obviously, because people have to get a new house. Then again, these are such rich people that, you know, they might inflate asset prices of properties that are already like unattainable for the average person. So I don't know how much of that inflation is going to trickle down, but you are getting rid of supply to an extent, which is not necessarily the best situation for inflation. So I don't know. This is going to be a really weird next 6 months. This is a little bit of a black swan event, bro. Not really for the markets, but just in general for the country, and then the implications that will be economic to some respect. I don't think anyone expected beginning of 2025 a fire to take out the entire region of Malibu and all those properties. Someone was showing the Zillow listings of the places that used to be there, and it was like you would just scroll down the Zillow listings, and it was like, yeah, look at this picture, dude. Look at this. I mean, these houses are gone. $9.9 million house, $18.5 million house, Pacific Palisades, gone. $3 million house, $59 million house, like decimated, bro. Absolutely decimated. Rafi says, I live in LA. It's crazy here right now. Zoko, you're in Cali as well, right? But you're in North Cal, I think, right? So the whole Bay Area is not really like, whenever there's fires, it's never in North California. It's always in South California. I think that has to do with the direction of the wind and also the humidity. But the Bay Area doesn't get the brunt of it, from my understanding. Glendale has a big fire as well. Oh, June, you're in San Diego. That's different from LA. That's not exactly West Hollywood. It's normal in South California. Yeah, it definitely happens every year. But it's just, and we've seen like some pretty bad fires, but it's never been this shit. This shit is like a whole different level. There was a multi-million-dollar house bought a week before the fire, and that was destroyed by it. The only bright side to this is that these people are very wealthy, and most of them their lives have been saved. Obviously, people have passed in this, but a lot of the people also got out and evacuated. And so you lose your house, it's whatever. If you have a lot of money, you can buy another house. But if it happened in a region that was much more low income, like the government's got to subsidize it at that point, right? And that's when you need a surplus in your budget, because you need to have money for a rainy day, like something like that. And it just, I don't know, if that happened in a different area, it would be much more different right now. Being rich doesn't save the items that you have emotional tie to that you can't replace. Well, that's true. I mean, those houses too, I would imagine, dude. Those are probably like Miley Cyrus's house got hit. I mean, she probably has Grammy plaques from when she was like 20 years old on the wall, and awards from different, like, these are very emotional items that are just gone, burned completely. It's done. And I feel like those are moments where you're like, oh yeah, like, materialism can't be the only thing important in life, because as much as it sucks, if you're gone, then you've got nothing left. An old friend of mine is a doctor in LA. She ended up evacuating yesterday, and they ended up flying everyone to Vegas. Yeah, there was another video I saw of patients having to leave a hospital because they were in the midst of the fire. Like, imagine you're a patient and you're like this is the video. You're in a horrible situation and you have to be wheeled out of a freaking dude. This video is insanity. Look at this, bro. These are patients. Like, they're in wheelchairs getting out of a hospital because the hospital is about to burn down. Insane, bro. Absolutely insane. It's like a mini apocalypse that LA had over the weekend. Like, we see all these videos that are apocalyptic. This is it. This is exactly what I would imagine an apocalypse looks like. There's nothing you can really do. You have tons of wind, and you're just hoping that you can save as many people as you can. But inevitably, if there was a real apocalypse, then everyone's eventually just done for. Phil says, I'll bet a handful of these people didn't have wealth. They just have income, and the majority of their net worth was expensive California housing. If that's the case, then that's also very sad, because that means, a lot of their wealth was tied to their residence, which is now gone. At least this is going to be a better chance for us to also understand how insurance works. So I'm going to be very curious to see, what does insurance do? Like, if you lose a $50 million house, like, does your insurance give you $50 million? Do they give you half of that? Do they justify it? Like, how do they look at your net worth? Like insurance for high net worth individuals has to be a totally different ballgame. And I'm really curious what the process of managing that looks like. And this is where, Berkshire is going to have to deal with it. Berkshire has a lot of insurance. Now, granted, I don't know if high net worth people had Geico as their insurance, but still, it's going to be an opportunity to learn, where the hell insurance even or how the hell insurance operates when something like this happens. Yeah, it obviously depends on your type of insurance as well. But if you're wealthy, you have to have the best insurance ever, right? You have to. You have to have the, like, if you're wealthy and you have a $50 million house, you have to have the best insurance in the world. There's no way you try to save a couple bucks on insurance if you're that wealthy. So I wonder how that ultimately resolves itself. JJ Redick lost his house. Wow. Yeah, I don't think LeBron lost his house, but LeBron, he's not in exactly that area. But he's in LA. I think, well, he's near West Hollywood. I don't think he was in the fires, but he's definitely in West Hollywood, from my understanding. Or no, maybe I think he's in Beverly. No, he's not in Calabasas. I think he's in Beverly Hills. Where does LeBron live? He lives in. No, he's in Brentwood. He's in Brentwood. Yeah, I remember. He's in Brentwood. Yeah, Brentwood, I don't think was hit. I know Brentwood. I had a friend, a very, very, very rich friend who was in the same debate league as me. And he invited me over to his house at Brentwood. There was a bunch of us that were teaching at this debate camp in UCLA. And we went over to, not his house, but his parents' house. And dude, the couch was like $50,000. Like it was crazy, bro. It was insane wealth. Absolutely. I had another friend who was on the USA debate team with me. His dad was a famous movie producer. And I wish I had more pictures of the experience. We don't have as many pictures, but like there was an elevator in his house, bro. Like it was like his bathroom was the size of my living room downstairs. It was insanity, bro. Like crazy wealth, crazy wealth. He lived on the same block as Kim Kardashian and Chris Paul. So, you know, there's just some of that wealth is hard to even imagine, but a lot of it got destroyed over the past couple of days. Kevin's in a fuck, dude, I forgot this. People know this. Meet Kevin's in. I should know this because I went to his house to interview him a while ago. It's not in LA though. It's further. It's much further from LA. Ventura, yes, Ventura. That's where he is. Ventura. It's Ventura. So that's a lot further from the fires. Biden said that the federal government will cover 100% of the initial disaster response to the Los Angeles wildfires for 180 days. Okay. Thanks for tagging me in that, Spencer. So, all right, I guess. Well, look, folks, see, this is what I mean by like that's, I mean, if that's accurate, and we'll see what Trump says about this because Biden won't be the president. That's more spending. That has to be inflationary. How, like, where are they going to get the money to do this? They're either going to have to print more money or divert it from other funds. But like, this is going to be more spending. And the insurance companies are probably lobbying the shit out of the government right now to help them out because there's no way they want to pay for all this stuff. So I guess we're going to have to see. This is the moment where people start thinking, all right, why did we give $120 billion to Ukraine? Right? Like, this is the stuff that pisses people off because it's like, all right, well, we could use that money to save our own houses and, you know, recover our own citizens here. And you definitely are going to have people questioning this stuff. So I'm curious now how Trump navigates this as well. Because Trump's going to be the one who's actually president. Also, Trump talked about this. There is a video going around from Trump talking about California in 2018. And he was trying to fix this stuff. This is the one from the Joe Rogan podcast. This was a while ago. And then I'll show you the 2018 video where he's talking about this as well.
They said, we have no water. I said, do you have a drought? No, we don't have a drought. I said, why don't you have no water? Because the water isn't allowed to flow down. It's got a natural flow from Canada all the way up north. Water, more water than they could ever use. And in order to protect a tiny little fish, the water up north gets routed into the Pacific Ocean. Millions and millions of gallons of water gets poured. I could have water for all of that land, water for your forests. You know, your forests are dry as a bone.
Yeah.
Okay.
Dangerous.
That water could be routed. You know, you could have everything. Oh, not only dangerous, billions of dollars a year they spend on forest fires. And, you know, there's a case with the environment. They're not allowed to rake their forests because you're not allowed to touch it. And all they have to do is clean their forest, meaning rake it up, get rid of the leaves, get rid of, leaves that are sitting there for 5 years. And
We'll certainly get rid of the dead fall.
and get rid of the trees that are fallen
Yeah.
that are
And then, so this is a tweet from 2018. California wildfires are being magnified and made so much worse by the bad environmental laws, which aren't allowing massive amounts of readily available water to be properly utilized. It is being diverted into the Pacific Ocean. Must also tree clear to stop fire from spreading. So, I don't know, man. He's been talking about this for a while, and he's definitely going to take credit for the fact that he feels he was right about this whole situation. I'm trying to see if I can find the 2018 video where he talked about this, but yeah, this is it's one of those things where we're gonna have to see how he resolves this as well. Fool's Gold, thank you for the $20 super chat. Appreciate it. Rocket Lab just signed a huge contract for Neutron. I did not see that contract, but thank you for the $20 super chat, and that's great for Rocket Lab. Dude, I like Rocket Lab. I like it. I don't know if this is the best entry. And every time I think of selling puts, this thing collapses down 10%, and then it goes up 10%. Eventually, I have to figure out my entry on Rocket Lab, but I like it. Makes sense. And eventually, Neutron seems to be the broader bull case for this. I lived in Manhattan Beach for 1 year right outside of LA and left vowing to never return because it is disgusting. Homeless and poverty on the doorstep of Hollywood heroes. It is the Wild West. Yeah, that's another reason I would never want to live in LA. It's nice to visit, but I don't know, dude. I don't know anyone who actually like loves. I mean, there's definitely people that love California and love living there. Same thing with the Bay Area, but like, there's a lot of shit there. Not only from a governmental perspective, but stuff where the government just hasn't cleaned up a lot of stuff for whatever reason. And I could never imagine living there. Now, New York's not that much better per se, which is why I'm not living in New York. I'm living in Jersey. I'm staying. By the way, guys, I think I found the apartment that I want to move to. I think I officially found it. I have a meeting with Vanessa, who is the agent that I'm going to be talking to tomorrow. And yeah, we're going to see if we can get this done. I'm getting really serious about it now. So not living in New York, but living very close to New York. And we're going to try to get this done. Yeah, still going to be in Jersey. Still going to be in Jersey. It's going to be very near New York, Jersey City area. Very, very 8-minute path ride to New York. This apartment looks cool, bro. This apartment looks really cool. Like the view is wild, bro. It's an amazing view. Like it's one of those views where it's like it's New York. Like it's gonna be pretty cool. So whenever it happens, I can't wait to show it to you guys. But hopefully we get things ready to go and we make it happen. You're gonna miss your mom and pops though. It's gonna be hit different for a little bit. Yeah, but you know, I mean, the good thing is it's like 35, 40 minutes away from my parents, so I'll definitely be visiting them. But it's time, dude. It's time to move. At 27, it is absolutely time to move out. And this, you know, the good thing about this is like it's a little bit more on the pricey side, which is okay. It's justifiable in a lot of ways in regards to just investing in the media company that I want to build, in regards to tax write-offs, and also, you know, just generally have a little bit more of the financial stability to get it done. So, and it's only because I stayed at home for the past 6 years. So I think it's the right way to move out, given I stayed at home for so long. Finally, plumbers will come when the stream is off. Yes, correct. It'll be renting. It's not gonna be buying. It's gonna be renting. I mean, look, dude, if you guys want the bricks, we're gonna bring the bricks there. I will find a way to make the bricks. I will find a way to make the bricks be there. They'll be real bricks. They'll still be real bricks. It'll give you a good reason to go to New York restaurants. Yeah, dude, that's the other good thing, bro. We'll be in New York. We'll be so close to New York without having to actually live in New York. So I feel like there's going to be such an easy way to get access to all the benefits of New York and going out and the nightlife in New York and all this different stuff without having to be stuck in New York or paying New York taxes. New Jersey taxes aren't great, but they're nothing like dude. Have you heard New York started this new congestion tax? It's this insane thing that they're doing in NYC now. And New York's congestion pricing system took effect January 5th for trips in Manhattan. Individual drivers will face up to $9 tolls when they're approaching Manhattan, while trucks and buses will pay up to $21. Come on, bro. Insane. Absolutely insane. So, I think New York's way better than LA, but I would never want to live in New York or LA because still, dude, you've got to be making like really good money to comfortably live in New York. And it's just not worth it, in my opinion. But there you go. You have a lot more taxes coming up there. Fort Lee is good, but Fort Lee is not Jersey City, bro. Jersey City is better than Fort Lee, in my opinion. I've been to Fort Lee. I used to work in Fort Lee. I had one of my clients there, so I used to drive up there often. Fort Lee is nice, but dude, Jersey City, like, let me show you guys this. Let me go to Google Earth. I'm going to show you guys Liberty State Science Center, which is in New Jersey. And the view from there of New York, because it's pretty wild. So if I do 3D, let me see if I can move this around. Because the view in Fort Lee is not really the view that you get from Jersey City, because it's so close to New York in a different angle. Can I show this thing right here? Okay, this is not going to be perfect, but let me show this. So this is you guys see this? So this is the view, basically. This is the view in Jersey City. You see that? Yeah, this is perfect. You see the skyline? This is the view in Jersey City. And so if you have you see how there's this body of water that's separating New Jersey and New York, and then that's the New York skyline, which is just beautiful. And again, some people don't think it's beautiful, but if you grew up in the East Coast like me, it's like it's just one of the most beautiful things in the world. And so if you live in this area, that's kind of what it looks like. So this is the skyline right there. That's New York right there. You guys can see that. That's the skyline. This is the World Trade Center, all these buildings. And then if we go all the way here, that's where, you could see a lot of apartments and buildings and stuff. And this is where Jersey City is. Fort Lee is in a different area. It's not exactly. So this body of water is what separates the view from New York to Jersey City. And it's just incredible, dude. I've been here many times just to like look at New York City, the skyline, all that stuff. And it's just amazing. So that's Liberty State Park. Yeah, that's right there. So I don't know. I've just been obsessed with that view my whole life. I love that view, and it would be nice to have it. Where's the Gulf of America at? That's a good question. It's not Hoboken. Hoboken's different from Jersey City. Hoboken's very close to Jersey City. Hoboken's good. I like Hoboken too. I love it. Hoboken and Jersey City are so close to each other. Sometimes they become one or the other, but there is a difference between them. But yeah, it is different from Fort Lee. That's only for a few blocks in Jersey City. Yes, that's correct. That's only for a few blocks. It's not all of Jersey City, but that is a few blocks to see parts of it. Jasmine says, I've been eyeing Jersey City for a cool minute, but trying to get the change together to buy. Yeah, see, the other thing, buying property in Jersey City is expensive, bro. And I don't think I don't want to put money into property yet. Like I'd rather wait a couple of years to get these interest rates to come down, hopefully to 5.5%, because I feel like in the next 10 years, that's the best we're looking at, unless we really get inflation down. And then it would be more attractive. And I don't know, I probably wouldn't buy property in Jersey City either. I would buy property in like the suburbs of New Jersey, because you would just get a better deal, right? For like 500 grand, 600 grand, you would get a way better house. But obviously that property near New York is potentially much more valuable. Why not Philly? You guys are funny. You guys are so funny. So funny. We're not going to Philly. Goodness gracious. You guys are funny. Very, very funny. Leza says, you did an excellent job, Amit. I'm 58 years old and I raised 2 great financially successful kids. Your parents must be really proud of you. Leza, thank you for that. And I appreciate it. Just if you ever visit my house, please do not say that to my mom, because her head is becoming already inflated enough after Adam gave her and showered her with praises today. So, we just got to make sure her head doesn't get that big. Dude, the first thing we walk in and he's like, you did such a good job raising him. And I'm like, bro, like, goodness. She's like, all right, I guess it's praise my mom day. She's getting all the love right here. All the love. What's the subway from New Jersey to Midtown? Midtown, it's called Path. P-A-T-H, the Path. Path is what people would take. How do mortgages work with being a dude? Spencer, you saw Robinhood or people commented, or they posted that thing about Robinhood asking them if they would pay an extra month for gold if they could get like a discounted mortgage rate. Who knows, bro? Maybe in 2025, Robinhood gets into the mortgage business and they find a way to like collateralize your stock assets and give you a lower mortgage rate than some of these other companies. That would be wild. If Robinhood gets into mortgages, bro, it'd be crazy. Absolutely crazy. Yeah, 8 p.m. markets open again. 8 p.m. markets open again. I have to leave at 7 because I have a meeting at 7. So I got to be out in about an hour and a half. But 8 p.m. we will have markets that are open. I'm planning on just buying a house in 2 to 3 years without a mortgage. You know, day trading must be going really well, dude. Shit. I mean, must be going very well without a mortgage. That means you're dropping cash money, bro. Cash money. Okay, let's watch a little bit more of this Elon clip as well. So, let's go to the Doge part. I mean, I still think everyone's kind of confused on if Doge is going to be a thing. So let's see what he has to say about that, and if we have any updates.
And let me bring us down to earth for a question on Doge.
Yeah.
I worked very closely actually with President Clinton in the 90s, where we did have reinventing government. We did balance the budget in 2 years, actually.
That's awesome. Oh, those were the days. It's been a while.
It didn't last very long because
It didn't last very long.
it got blown up very quickly. Have you identified some cuts that you're really looking at that you think will be successful? Do you think the 2 trillion is a realistic number now that you're looking more closely at it?
Yeah, I think we'll try for 2 trillion. I think that's like the best case outcome, but I do think that you have to have some overage. I think if we try for 2 trillion, we've got a good shot at getting 1. And if we can drop the budget deficit from 2 trillion to 1 trillion.
Okay, so Elon's lowering the expectations there. He's like, I know we want to get rid of 2 trillion of spend, but we're going to try to at least get rid of 1 trillion. So he's already lowering expectations, which is fair. I don't think anyone expected 2 trillion. In my mind, that means, okay, maybe you'll get rid of a couple $100 billion, which would still be a W, but I don't know if they get rid of $1 trillion of government spend.
And free up the economy to have additional growth such that the output of goods and services keeps pace with the increase in the money supply, then there will be no inflation.
Right.
That I think would be an epic outcome. And in terms of saving money in the government, as it's a very target-rich environment for saving money. If you look in any direction, it's like people's like, where will you find places to save money? I'm like, it's like being in a room full of targets. Like you could close your eyes and you can't miss. So there's just a lot of waste in government because, especially the federal government, you just got a situation where the checks never bounce. Like they've got like the infinite money computer, and then the people that spend the money are not the people. It's not their money. It's very hard for people to care about spending someone else's money, and then even if I know people in the government who do care about on just as a matter of principle spending money effectively, and they try to do so and they can't. The system prevents them from doing so, and they even get told to do crazy things. As again, it's probably sounds familiar, where you get towards the end of the budget cycle and they're told to spend up to their budget. And even on nonsense stuff, because if they don't spend their budget gets reduced. So it's actually a perverse incentive to waste money. And then they are punished for not wasting money. So it's just totally bananas.
I agree. You will find...
Well, you got a lowered of expectations from Elon, which makes sense because he's probably not trying to hype up as much cutting of the budget because he probably sees 2 trillion is crazy. But then again, that's classic Elon, right? High expectations, aim for the stars, land on the moon, and people are still impressed by getting on the moon because getting on the moon already is hard. But obviously, it's not easy to try to get as much cutting done as they would want to get done. So I don't know, bro. We're gonna have to see how Doge really plays out. I think it's gonna be fighting against a lot of bureaucracy. It's not gonna be easy to actually get cuts, but hopefully they can do something, dude. Because if we don't balance this budget, I don't know, our kids' kids are just gonna be screwed. Michelle says, my mom, first time watching, she said, well, it's good because he really just talks and talks and talks. LOL. I said, yes, mom, he's a professional yapper. Dude, that's all I know. I don't know how to bake cakes. I can. If I lose my voice, I'm done. If I lose my voice, I am done. I'm gonna be like a mime or something, like, or what do you call that? Like the people that talk with their hands. Like, can't make beautiful cakes. All I can do is talk. That's it. Servana says, what's your view on Canadian real estate? Do you think a 2008 situation is on horizon? I know nothing about Canadian real estate. However, I just watched The Big Short yesterday. And so I've been thinking about real estate for the past 24 hours because that obviously 2008 was based on a real estate housing crisis. And it is kind of wild, bro, when you really like, because this time I watched it, like I think I watched it a year and a half ago. And I would think in the last 18 months, I've gotten a little bit smarter just about how markets work. And so I actually understood the movie much better this time, much better. And it's kind of wild, dude. I kind of related to the movie in one respect, which is like, there are certain moments where you have a meeting and that meeting gives you all the clarity you need to then make a really big bet. And I told you guys the story so many times, but me and my friend, December 3rd, 2023, same guy who helped me get more conviction on grabs numbers. We were up at 2 a.m. to 5 a.m. and we were doing the numbers on Hood when it was $8. And we were like, holy fuck, this is a buy. This is a obvious buy. How does the market not understand it? This is the play. And then the next morning we bought as much as we could of it. So it's just crazy because in that meeting, when he had the meeting with the guy in Vegas who represents all of the investment firms that sell the CDOs or that get sell CDOs to their clients and they get the clients from the big banks. And in that meeting, Mark Baum realizes, holy crap, like this is a bubble. This is like this is all fake. It's all a game. And then the next second, he's like, buy 500 million of credit default swaps and let the shit hit the fan. That's it. And it's really sad because they knew the American economy was going to collapse after that one meeting. Like they had a feeling and then that meeting solidified, oh, it's going to collapse. So it wasn't like a good meeting where like, oh, let's buy it because it's going to go up. It's like, no, let's buy the credit default swaps because they're going to go up 10-1 because the market's going to crash. And so it's like there was sadness in the fact that they're going to make so much money, but they're going to make so much money on the backs of regular people having everything wiped out. And then it happens, and this is the craziest part that I forgot from watching the movie the first time, which I understood yesterday. The credit default swaps were not going up. Like imagine you buy a stock at $5 or you buy a call option at $5. The stock goes to $20 and your call option doesn't move. And you're like, what the fuck? Like you're like I bought the call option when it was 5, the stock's 20. I 4x the stock. The call option should be up like 8x or whatever. Like it's not moving. The credit default swaps didn't go up because everything was so broken that the credit default swaps wouldn't move, right? There was no market to really make, because the guys who were shorting the market, there's like 4 different individual groups. They figured out there was a crisis, Michael Burry included. They went to the banks. The banks made the market for them, right? Because you couldn't just buy this on a regular brokerage. You needed a professional instrument to do this. And the market, the banks were happy to make the market for them because they were thinking it was free money that they were getting from all the premiums they were collecting on the credit default swap. But when shit hit the fan and the credit default swaps needed to go up in value, like they should be going up, just like a call option goes up if the stock goes up, it wasn't happening. And so at that moment, it was also relatable because when I was trying to close out the Robinhood spreads, I couldn't get the max value because there's always something you got to give up to the market maker. And at that moment, they made a lot of money, but they weren't able to make as much money because the market makers, aka the banks, realized what was happening and they wanted to also buy the credit default swaps to sell them to someone else to then short themselves. That's what Morgan Stanley tried to do. But in order to do that, you can't give the full amount of the credit default swap to the original buyer, which means you got to settle for a little bit of a haircut. But nonetheless, even if you get a haircut, you still make a lot of good money, right? So it was very interesting, kind of the parallels of just like what it takes to be an investor in certain moments where you make asymmetric bets. In this case, it was obviously an asymmetric bet to the downside. And it also gave me a lot more clarity on the idea that I don't think anything, now granted, this is the nature of bubbles. No one really knows anything, but I don't think anything as crazy is happening in the stock market right now with synthetic CDOs that are attached to all other synthetic CDOs that are leveraged 50 to 1 that are going to collapse in the next couple of years if something breaks or if rates go higher. Which also makes me feel a little bit better about Bitcoin right here, 92,000. It makes me feel a little bit better about the state of the markets that we're in right now, because as long as tech and earnings show growth, I don't think there's necessarily subprime mortgages that are being given to nurses and strippers that are, taking out 7 loans on a bank on 5 different properties. Like, I don't think we have that going on right now. Granted, but also, the problem with the movie. Oh, MSTR. Yeah, but MSTR is different, bro. If MSTR collapses, MSTR collapses, and probably you take off some money from Bitcoin. But that's not like the whole market. That's not like the whole economy, If MSTR collapses and it really is a Ponzi and it goes to shit and Bitcoin goes back to 50,000, like that doesn't affect Palantir and Tesla, like that's just like everything got fucked in 2008. Everything. It's not systemic, right? It's specific to that crypto industry. But it's not like 2008, dude. 2008 was different. Even quantum, bro. Even if quantum all goes to shit, like what? It's 5 companies that go to zero. Oh well, like that's like 10, $20 billion of value. That's not the whole market. But it does mean that there are going to be plenty of risk on assets that also go to shit if quantum continues to go to shit. Fartcoin, by the way, wow, 21% down, baby. That is probably because Bitcoin's at 91,000 or 92. Look at that. That's not having a good day. That's not having a good day. Are you saying 2008 can't happen for Canada? I'm saying I have no idea what's going on in Canada. I wish I could offer some thoughts on Canada. I have no idea what's going on in the Canadian real estate market. 2008 could happen again for any country. Definitely could happen again in the United States if you have greedy Wall Street firms. That was 1,000% the point of the movie. Greedy Wall Street firms created financial instruments that were all filled with shit, in this case, shitty mortgages that they put together and they sold them to get investment banking fees and political relationships. And that's how they got the credit agencies to not rate the bonds that were in these CDOs to be junk bonds. They were rating them AAA when in reality they were F level credit rated bonds. And it was all to collect more money. It was all to get a little bit more extra cash for the fund's bonuses, for the Wall Street bankers' bonuses that we have on different firms on the street. Morgan Stanley was part of this. Goldman Sachs was, Lehman Brothers office, like all of them. So this could happen again if we have that level of corruption and greed in Canada or in the United States. There's some regulations that stop it, but realistically, I don't know how many regulations would stop a coordinated attempt of this to happen again. You just have to hope most of the bankers think of it as mutually assured destruction, that if this happens and one day shit hits the fan, the whole market tanks and then, their jobs are in jeopardy as well. But I have no idea what's going on in Canada. I have literally no idea what's going on in the Canadian real estate market. Maybe Trump knows something's going on in Canada. That's why he wants them to become the 51st state. Maybe that's what's happening. He wants to protect them from the shit. Who knows? Maybe he's just trolling like he is. Canada's so regulated it won't happen, but real estate can drop progressively for years. Is Canada real estate doing well right now? Let's go to because the United States real estate has been great. So let's ask ChatGPT. Let's ask. Is Canadian real estate going up? Okay, it's giving me this bullshit answer. Search the web and tell me about Canadian prices. I'm unable to search the web in real time. Really? Damn. Wow. See, this is where people might not get excited for GPT. It's not scanning Zillow because they probably don't have access to Zillow's API. And they're telling me to go to Zillow and do it myself. See, this is where GPT does not become that useful. Yeah, we can ask Grok. Let me pull up Grok. Let's see. Now, granted, I don't know if Grok's gonna be that much better. But let's ask. Tell me about the Canadian. How do you spell Canadian? Candai. Wait, how the fuck do you spell Canadian, bro? Oh, there it is. Okay, no one make fun of me for that. Tell me about the Canadian housing market and if it's doing well or bad. See, it has all these posts. That's the thing. It has user-generated content. The benchmark price of real resale residential homes in Canada was approximately 707,000, showing a slight decrease year over year, but increase over the past decade. Sales have been upwards. Affordability has deteriorated to levels not seen in decades. I mean, that's happening in the United States as well. That's not good. Interest rate and debt, while lower interest rates have provided some relief, private debt is high. There is a significant shortage of housing units. That's also in the United States, with estimates suggesting Canada needs an additional 3.5 million houses by 2030. Okay, so doesn't look like it's in the best situation. It kind of looks like our situation where it's gone up, but it's not gone up as well as before. Amit, I have 2 properties in Ontario. I can tell you prices are back to 2020 levels. Wow. That's not good. Now, see, this is the beauty of Grok. If you tweeted that today, Grok would be able to take that data and ingest it, take that user-generated real-time data, and then be able to give me some synthesized analysis. ChatGPT doesn't have that. Like, this is a real problem with GPT. They don't have access to more data. Whereas there's plenty of Canadians on Twitter probably tweeting about the housing crisis or housing affordability, and then it can just use all that content and then actually come up with analysis. Yeah, I mean, look at this. If we go to the tweets, it's showing the tweets that it used to make the data. This chart from 2023, in Toronto, house prices have already declined 9% year over year, and home sales have dropped to the lowest levels in over a decade. Now, again, the question is, how valid is this chart? I mean, that's the thing where Grok has to really get good, right? Like, is this chart actually depicting the housing market, or is it a bullshit chart, right? But if it at least has somewhat reliable data, it has more data than OpenAI. It just has more data than OpenAI. Tanner says this is a stretch. It's going down, but 2020 is a stretch. Well, Tanner, you bought a house recently, right? So you should know more than anyone. Wait, so you bought your house at the end of 22, I think, right, Tanner? So is your thing up or down? Has it appreciated in the past year and a half? Because I think you bought it end of 22 or early 2023. At the peak? Okay, wait. So Tanner, did you buy it when? So is your house lower? Or you're down? Okay, so you bought it at the peak. Okay, got you. So you bought high and it's low. Yeah, 2020 prices is wild, bro. Because in the United States, houses have like doubled since 2020. That's for sure. It's definitely a lot different here. Not every place in the United States, but a decent amount of places do. That's one of the reasons why the United States doesn't have as booming of a housing market right now, because no one wants to sell. The condos are going down crazy. However, detached are holding. Yo, can we go to Toronto? Let's go to Zillow, bro. Let's do some window shopping. What does Toronto luxurious real estate look like? How much are we going to be paying? Toronto. Okay, so we're going to go to Toronto. And then I'm going to go for sale. And I'm going minimum 750. And then I'm going maximum 2 million. Let's see what we get. But I want a condo. I want a dope spot. All right, let's see. Let's see what we got. So this place is $2 million in Canada. Wow, that's a Space Needle, right? No, that's not. No, the Space Needle is in Seattle, right? What is that thing called? The thing that's big in Canada. What is that thing? That's the Space Needle, right? Yeah, it's the Space Needle. I was right. Oh, thank God, I was right about that. I was right. Wait, no, it's the CN Tower. Am I wrong? CN Tower. Okay. Yeah, Space Needle's in Seattle. They have a different thing. It's not the Eiffel Tower, bro. I'm not that uneducated. If I called it the Eiffel Tower, you guys would be flaming me, right? It's not the Eiffel Tower. Okay, so this looks nice. the view doesn't look that amazing. See, like this in New York is different, bro. The New York view is different. Okay, it looks like a dope condo. This view is cool. It's not amazing. It's maybe I'm just too biased to the New York view. But what else do we have? Okay, let's not do 2 million. Let's do 900 grand. Let's get something a little bit more realistic. Let's see. Okay, here's 900 grand. All right. Explore 3D. Okay, cool. This shit is really cool on Zillow. This shit is really cool. All right, so this is the place. This is this would be the bet. Wow, this view is nice, bro. This view actually is really nice. It's a really nice view. From your bedroom, bro, that's a great view. It's a nice bathroom. By the way, you guys have to help me figure out the art I'm going to have in my apartment, bro. I got to have some like cool shit. It's got to be like cool quotes and shit. But it's also got to be stuff that when like a girl comes over, she's like, oh, wow. I mean, I already know one painting I'm going to have on my wall. I already know one of those. I told you guys this story a while ago, but there's one painting that's like perfect for starting a conversation. It's like the best icebreaker ever. All right, so this thing is cool. Let's see if we can do, let's go even lower. Let's go to like 500,000. Let's do 350. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, this one doesn't look as good. This one is lower. Yeah, so I mean, look, in terms of the Canadian housing market, I didn't know there was an issue, but I'm going to research into it more now that you guys are talking about it. If there actually is some big issue. No results, yeah. If there actually is some big issue, then can we buy some credit default swaps on Canadian housing market? Like, oh, this is what I was going to say. I forgot to say this. After watching The Big Short, okay, inevitably you feel like you want to become Michael Burry. You want to be the guy who was in his room staring at the fucking computer in 2005, who was right but early, and then makes billions when everything collapses. Like it inspires you to be the contrarian that goes against the market. The problem is, I think too many people have watched that video or watched the movie, and they get so inspired, and then they think they can call the market, right? Which Burry, what he did is very difficult, and he's tried to do it again many times and he's failed, but he got that one right. And the problem with The Big Short is you start thinking, all right, maybe I can find out, if there's a bubble somewhere. And bubbles happen, but it's like the bubble to the extent of what we had with subprime mortgages in 2008. Again, that makes me feel more confident about the economy because I don't think we're in that big of a bubble. So unless something like that happens again and you're right at the moment where you can find it, and realistically, you have to be early to it because people are going to find out eventually. It's hard to do it. It's hard to be the guy who figures it out. You said check Vancouver. Okay, let's check Vancouver. Dude, I've never been to Vancouver, but that's like the west side of Canada, right? That's like near California. Vancouver, yeah, that's near California. Okay, Vancouver, let's go 1 million to 2 million. Okay, this is 2 million in Vancouver. Wow, what is this building, bro? This looks crazy. This looks wild. What is this building, dude? Holy crap. Dude, apartments like these, dude, these are a dream. These are a dream. These type of apartments, dude. Fuck, bro. Look at that view. That is insane. There's mountains in the back and shit. That's beautiful. That is beautiful. Is Vancouver near California? That's like above California, right? Like I know the flight from Vancouver to California is way quicker than from Toronto to California. Like Vancouver's on that west side of the, or am I wrong on that? No, I think I'm I'm definitely right. Vancouver is right above. Well, it's not California. It's right above Oregon and Washington, but it's on the west coast. That's what I mean. Yeah, Oregon. Exactly. Okay, what else do we have? So let's do Let's do Vancouver. Let's do lower then. Let's do 500 to 800. Yeah, they don't look as pretty, but they're still there. Damn, 2 beds, 1 bath. 800. Yeah, looks nothing like the $2 million one, bro. This is different. All right, well, I will research Canadian housing markets and see what else is there. Amit, you should see my apartment in Silicon Valley. Search Gideon Apartments Mountain View. Okay, let's do that one. Gideon Apartments Mountain View. Can I search that right into Zillow? Gideon Apartments. No, I wouldn't do it. Mountain View. Let me do something off Zillow because I'll find it here. Mountain View, Gideon Apartments. I think I found it. Is this it? This is it, right? This is in the Bay Area, or Milpitas, California. Milpitas. Where is this? I've never. Oh, Market Street. Market Street is in San Fran, right? Market Street. I know Market Street. Market Street's like literally in the heart of San Francisco. I feel like, right? Yeah, these apartments are nice. These apartments are pretty nice too. I don't think they have a gallery here. I'm gonna see if I can get it on Zillow, but that is definitely very nice. Yeah, Block is changing their ticker symbol. It's really weird, but they're going XYZ. I don't know why they're doing it, but they are doing it. It's in the Bay Area. Yeah, it looks like it. Market Street is that name is very familiar to me. Dude, that must be expensive then. Well, no, the rent is not. It says starting from 2,900, which I feel like is not crazy in the Bay Area. Yeah, dude. I mean, look, I don't think there's a housing crisis in the United States, but definitely in California, it looks like there are issues if these prices are going back to 2020 levels. I mean, that is not the best. I'm paying $41.60 rent for 2-bedroom. Yeah, I would expect that. I mean, $41.60 I feel like is actually decent, bro. For 2 bedrooms in Market Street, San Fran. I'm not saying that's amazing, but it's not like 8,000 or 7,000 or anything crazy. It's near San Jose. You know, I've never been to the San Jose airport. I've always gone through SFO, and I feel like San Jose is not a horrible airport, and that's actually easier to get to some of the places I go to in the Bay Area. So I got to one day fly through San Jose. Maybe I do it in February when I come to California. Maybe we do it from there. Chris CRM, thank you for being here. I'll see you in the morning on the market open. We'll see how Friday eventually turns out. Martin says, get real, Amit. Your mom wouldn't let you move to the West Coast. Dude, if I actually had business in the West Coast, I think my mom would, you know, it's, again, she's not one of those types of people to like hold me back from anything. I mean, she's never held me back. So if I really had to move to California, I would move to California, especially if, you know, business called for it. But the beautiful thing is I'm not in tech, I'm in finance. And finance, you got to be on the East Coast. And I personally can't imagine being 3 hours behind the market, bro. That's like that's the number one reason, because I've streamed from California before and it sucks, bro. It is cool because at 5 a.m. or 5:45, I start the market open and I'm done by 8:45. And then I have the whole day left. So it kind of feels like you're very productive because you got the biggest part of your day, the market open, done. But then it just feels weird, bro. It's like it's 9 a.m. The market is like just about to open, but the market's been open for 3 hours. It's so weird. It's absolutely a different world. Hurry up and get something in person so we can do a in-person podcast. Yeah, dude, I'm trying, Tanner. I have a meeting literally tomorrow with an agent. Hopefully they don't start speaking LLM talk. Get it? Agent, LLM, ha ha ha. That was good. That wasn't bad. But no, I have a meeting with them tomorrow and I'm going to try to lock down a spot. I wonder, I don't know though, bro, like, because I don't want to move out for like the next 6-7 months. So the meeting is just to get introduced to the property place and see if we can really get something done. But I'm so looking forward to really building out a studio, like a really fucking legit place. And again, given it's near New York, there's just a lot more access to people in the finance sector. Did you see the new Model Y? Some paparazzi got some pics of it playing the show. I think I saw some videos on X yesterday about the new Model Y. Adam says he wants to get the Juniper version coming out soon. And FSD was the reason. He was like, dude, I don't even love Tesla that much, but FSD is like, I get like, it's the game changer. So I think that Model Y refresh is definitely going to be good. Amit, you work in entertainment? Yes, but finance entertainment is different. Finance entertainment is different, bro. I can't imagine trying to be a finance content creator in LA. Like, I don't know, dude. It's not like the vibe is different, bro. In Los Angeles to be doing finance. Like LA, you go there for art, you go there for singing and production and movies and film. And then the Bay Area, you're there for tech. Like you're you're not having meetings around investing in a equity. You're having meetings of how to invest in a startup that's probably going to fail, but you hope it's going to win. Like, it's just such a different world. I feel like New York is the perfect place to be. How does vibe affect YouTuber? Dude, vibes are like, forget just YouTube. When you're making content, you need to be in the right state of mind. You need to be able to have A, your shit together, and B, you need to be able to be locked in and actually follow. Like even something as crazy as like, when there's breaking news happening in the markets, like you need to be in that moment accessing that news. And if you're hours behind, I know it's the same time, technically the event is happening at the same time, but if, it's like at 8 a.m., I need to be awake looking at what's happening in the pre-market. At 5 a.m. in California, waking up and not even being able to go to the gym or get some coffee, but like immediately get into market mode. It's like, no, dude, if I wake up at 5 a.m. on the East Coast from 5 a.m. to 8 a.m., I can get a lot of shit done before I really have to vibe into what's going on in the markets. But it's just like, it's the nature of understanding finance. NYC is Broadway though. That's true. Broadway is great, dude. I took a girl once to see Aladdin, and that was great. It's a little bit of an expensive date, but nonetheless, it's fun, dude. Broadway's also really cool. Futures are open. Okay, let's see. Meet Kevin does it. He wakes up at 3 a.m., finishes his day by 1 p.m. That's true, but he's also grew up in California his whole life. So he's, it's not like he moved to California to make content. He's been in California forever. One thing I will say about Meet Kevin, love him or hate him, work ethic cannot be denied. Absolute insane work ethic. Work ethic is like, it's unmatched, dude. Even I would be lying if I said I work as hard as Meet Kevin. Like Meet Kevin works fucking hard. Okay, everything's down in futures. Everything's down. It's not down crazy. I mean, small caps are down 0.5%. S&P is down 1/3. Dow Jones down 20 bips. NASDAQ down 1/3. So at 8 p.m., we'll see how markets open. Bitcoin is still annoying, right? Bitcoin's at 92. Dude, if the U.S. government sold the $6.5 billion from the Silk Road, it's the dumbest shit. Like, it's so annoying. It's basically Biden giving a middle finger to Trump because, like, he knows he wants to open a Bitcoin reserve, and like you don't sell part of the reserve just for what? For $6.5 billion. Like, that's nothing to the U.S. government. That's literally nothing. What are you gonna do with that? That money's gonna be wasted anyway. Like, you might as well just keep it there. And they got it basically for free, bro. They just seized it. But still. Amit took his date to meet his cousin Aladdin, bro. Holy crap. Aladdin was nice on Broadway. Aladdin was really good. I want to see the Michael Jackson Broadway. I want to see The Wiz again. I saw that in 2006. I saw The Lion King. Blue Man, I saw that a while ago. I want to see that again. There's a bunch of other things I want to see in New York. 2% match on IRA rollovers at Hood are back. Correct. That's going to be super bullish for Hood. Should increase assets under custody and deposits over the next couple months. And the fact that the bullish part about it, the fact that they can afford, they've done the unit economics and they can afford to pay people to acquire those assets. That's what makes me the most bullish as an investor. Because it's one thing to do it 1 year and like to be like, all right, it was an experiment, it worked. But it's another thing to be like, no, we can do this forever because we make more money than we're spending to get these assets. That means Robinhood will be an asset vortex, in the words of Arnie, who came up with that term a year ago. And they're just going to compound the assets And they're going to keep paying this 1 or 2%, which is a great deal for anyone who has even, 100,000 in their Roth IRA, much less $1 million. And then boom, you just bring it over. It's like eternity. They're going to continue to be able to keep fucking compounding these assets. And they're getting more profitable than ever, bro. So like, it really is not hurting the bottom line to do this. So the yield they're going to get on AUC is going to be incredible as they keep getting more and more. And these retirement assets are sticky. So as they keep getting more of the retirement assets, that's just going to be more beneficial for them. Meet Kevin Group in Florida. Actually, you're right. He did. When did he went to California young, though, I feel like. He moved to California like 10 years ago. But you're right. He did. You're right. He did grow up in Florida. Yeah, I don't know, dude. I like the East Coast. Enjoy the East Coast. The Bitcoin that they sold is going straight to LA, probably. Probably. Especially if the feds are going to continue to help the way Biden said today. I left for 30 minutes, but he's still live. How long have we been live? 2 hours and 20 minutes. Just yapping, bro. Yapping. Bitcoin 92.5. Oh boy. We will see when this thing hopefully comes back. Guys, I wired my my 25,000 last night to my third angel investment. So that money is gone. Hopefully, it was so funny, dude. I was talking to my dad about it. I was like, yeah, I put in 21K, and he was like, or 25K, and he was like, okay, so how much revenue does the startup make? I was like, revenue? What are you talking about? There's no revenue. He's like, how much money do they make? I was like, they don't make any money. He was like, why the fuck did you invest in it? I was like, Dad, that's the whole point of angel investing. It's like you're betting on an idea and you hope to God it works out. And he's like, what? I was like, yeah, there's no money, there's no profits. It's just an idea. Like they're trying to make it real. And it was so fun because he's such a business guy, dude. He's such a profit revenue. He's like, but they don't make any money. It's not a business. I was like, no, it's a business. It's just an idea of a business that eventually will become a business. So it's Derek's startup. Stock app. It's Derek's startup that I invested in. So yeah, my dad was like, you're just giving away money for free. I was like, yeah, basically. And I hope it comes back. So there you go. Okay, do you think Grab can reach above $7 by end of year? Yes, I think so. I think Grab, I would be more on the surprise side if Grab was not 7 to 8 by the end of the year. I think with the earnings growth, they'll do it. Yeah, Rango, I talked about FSD 13. It's amazing. I haven't streamed myself in the car, but I was driving with Adam today, and FSD took us all the way to lunch, and there was one intervention that was bad. There was definitely one bad intervention where it was making a turn. It was not supposed to make it, so it self-corrected, but there was a car coming. So there was one moment where it was like, all right, that wasn't good. But for the farm, 99.9% of it was incredible. And, I just got to talk to him for 20 minutes in the car without worrying about driving. It really was more relaxing too, bro. It was like, because when the speed limit's 45, most people tend to go 50 or 55 or 30 or 35. A robot goes exactly at 45, which sometimes is not good. And there are certain settings where you can adjust it, but other times it's perfect. It's like, it's just doing what it needs to do. And it's like, there's no way I would be able to go exactly at the speed limit. So I can see already algorithmically how it should result in less accidents because you're just not going above or below the required speed. And it makes a lot of sense for it to save lives in the long term, just if everyone's, going according to the rules. Xi Jinping is sending top-level China to Trump's inauguration. Okay, cool. I wish Xi Jinping was coming. I think that would be good for China-US relations if he actually came. But if he's sending other Chinese people, that's at least not horrible. Tell him it's like Uber. Lance Armstrong made a killing as never. Yeah, but my dad's, he's old, bro. He's 63. He doesn't really understand even the concept of a business that doesn't make money. So, but I told him, I'm like, dude, this is first of all, he knows about Derek and he's very grateful for Derek and all that stuff. But I'm like, when someone that successful starts something again, when they're in their 50s and they're still driven to go build something, and they get a team of some of the most brilliant engineers on the planet that leave their cushiony $6 million a year jobs at Google and Uber to come work for a startup to make 200 grand a year. And you get the types of investors that are ready to back it that he's been able to get. You take that bet, bro. You know, that already to me de-risks as an investor in startups. You're trying to de-risk because there's already so much risk of failure, right? You're trying to de-risk the value proposition by trying to look for some signs that are helpful. And one of those signs is not going to be revenue or profitability this early in the stage. But then again, that's the asymmetry of being this early. When you're this, like, if you invested in Robinhood in 2013, there was no revenue, but there was Vlad who was fucking driven to make this happen. I hope they can make peace kind of and work together. Yeah, I hope the same. I think China and the US are going to be kind of rocky, bro. You saw that Xi Jinping video where he talked about Taiwan unification the other day. I'm not saying they're going to do anything, but it definitely is a little, you know, we're going to have to see how Trump navigates this issue now. It's definitely not going to be easy to deal with this. Guys, I can't get you into the deal. I like this one's oversubscribed. There will be more deals in the future where I get you guys into it. I will one day, I'm getting a lot more connections. I will one day start an SPV, special purpose vehicle, which allows someone to operate an SPV and pool together money and then invest via the SPV. One day I'll do it if there's a really good deal. I couldn't do it for Figure and I couldn't do it for Derek's startup. But I'm getting more connections. I'm meeting a lot more people, and you know, hopefully one day I'll be able to bring a deal. It's just there's really bad deals out there, right? Like there's the humanoid robotics deals, which I like that industry. There's Derek, which I just believe in Derek. And then there's a lot of AI shit. And it's like a lot of this AI shit, I feel like Gemini and GPT is going to commoditize very easily. So there's not really, and especially early stage, right? Like all the Discord and Databricks, they're about to go public. So if you invest right now, maybe you get 30, 40% on your money when they IPO because they're not, you know, they're not in the early stages of the Discord's like a $20 billion company at this point. So to get like the real angel round of like the next Airbnb, that's hard to find. Very hard to find. But whenever I find it, I definitely will try to bring it as a, I mean, Derek told me about that, like, because he gets a lot of deals and he's like, dude, you have a great community. He loves you guys. He wants to give back to you guys. So he's like, one day we'll find a really good deal. You'll start an SPV and, you know, people will be able to pool in capital and you'll be able to give that to your community, which I think would be really cool, dude. Obviously there's a shot, whatever deal we find could fail, but hopefully we de-risk it enough to the point where it's a legit deal and there's a legit opportunity. And we should be right in the early stages, but it's just hard. It's hard to find those deals. Serial founder is the metric when it's pre-revenue. 100%, dude. Derek already operates a fucking business in Miami that's doing $600 to $800 million of revenue a year. So when you talk about serial founders, I just have so much trust in him and his ability to execute. Like he's been at Vegas the whole week. He's been doing CES. Like he's been literally closing deals in CES, like an 18-year-old kid trying to like get their first, big deal for their startup. And he's just out there hustling. He's just like, there's a certain level of grind that's hard to emulate, hard to imitate. You know, you got to kind of just have it in you. What do you think of Neuralink? Probably doing a deal in Q1. I would invest in Neuralink in a second, bro. It's fucking Neuralink, bro. It's Elon. It's Elon. Like first of all, Neuralink as a concept, bro, giving people mobility that have lost mobility. Like, oh my God, dude. It's like I'm so grateful we have someone working on something like that. Second of all, it's Elon. Like, that's not even a question. It's Elon. I put in whatever I could. If it's now, granted, the valuation is probably going to be up there because they're definitely not in the angel investing stage. What is Neuralink's valuation? That's got to be a couple billion, right? Neuralink valuation. They're at $4 billion as of 2024. No, $8 billion, July 2024. Yeah, they doubled since 2023. So I would imagine the next round is what? 15 billion, 14 billion, around that range. I did invest in Apptronic, but that's not this startup. This startup is called StockApp. It's in the B2B commerce space, much different than humanoid robotics, not really sexy, not AI or anything, but very, very big TAM. And it's a thesis Derek's been working on for basically the past 20 years. Amit, I've got the cash to be an accredited investor. What paperwork is needed? You just do it through your broker. Well, you do it usually through an investment platform. There's a couple of them, AngelList, Carta, there's a bunch of them. And then, but you need a lead on the SPV who manages the actual vehicle, special purpose vehicle that you invest in. And then the accredited investor stuff, once you get the forms, you just fill out all those forms and then you wire the money. And then usually through Carta or AngelList, Carta's like the premier one, you get your shares, quote unquote, your shares on Carta. And then as the valuation is marked up, hopefully over time, then the value of your stake in the startup is marked up. And then eventually, hopefully the company gets bought out and you get a cash payment or they go public. And then usually Fidelity is the one that brokers the shares once they IPO. And then there's a lockup period and then boom, you're liquid. That's kind of the way it plays out. But there's a lot of deals out there, dude. If there's a lot of deals out there, it's just a question of having, you know, the connections to get there. The problem is also these SPVs usually charge if you go through a third party SPV, which I've got offered in the past, but the premiums are ridiculous. They'll pitch you like a company and like, let's just say Perplexity is trading at 9 billion and they'll give it to you for like 17 billion. And it's like, do you like, but now granted, Perplexity's valuation is only 9 billion, but if you want to get in the deal, you got to pay a premium, right? Because you're not like inside of the actual circle of investors. You're like coming from an outside party. So there are certain deals, but then again, if you think Perplexity is going to $1 trillion, then you're like, fuck it, 17 billion is great. Like, you know, so it really depends on the types of deals and the people that you get. Can you at least talk about what they do? So if anyone wants to hear about the startup, go to the New Year's Eve live stream. If you click on live on YouTube, it's the thumbnail is me with a selfie. Derek calls for the first 30 minutes and you can listen to him explain it itself. He'll do a better job than me. But I would call it Shopify for B2B. That's what I would call it. And if you think Shopify is big on the B2C front, I think B2B has an even bigger TAM than Shopify because vendors, distributors, suppliers are much different than, you know, people hosting their own e-commerce stores. So I legitimately think it could be a $10, $20 billion company. And, you know, you can listen to that to get a better explanation of it. But it's up to Derek to make it happen. He's got the right team. He's got the investors. He's got the resources. Now I sit back and let that 25,000 eventually, hopefully, turn into more. Or it goes to zero. So one or the other. I told my dad, I was like, it either goes to zero or it goes to like $1 million. And he was like, that's so risky. I was like, yeah, that's the point. That's the freaking point. Rango says 12 billion. You got Perplexity at 12 billion. Okay. So if it's trading for 9 billion and you got it at 12 billion, that's not horrible. That's not a horrible premium. That's not a crazy premium. Can't wait for you on your first earnings call when you start a company. Dude, I don't ever think I'm taking a company public. I don't know. I feel like I love investing and content creation more than actually operating some massive company and then taking it public. But there's some people that are like have this, like Derek, he wants to have $1 billion IPO, right? Like that's just, it's always been his dream. I don't know if that's my dream. That would be super cool, but I kind of enjoy doing the market open every day. You know, there's a different level of, you know, everyone's different. They have different things they care about. But if I had to build some company and I had to stop making content about the markets, dude, like I feel like my soul would take a hit because I just love content creation. And it's really hard to do both, you know? So it's just a different way to navigate it. And it's also not, you know, to be really good at something, you got to go all in, you know, and you try to have 17 different things you're working on. I've realized in the past, you're just not, it's a recipe for disaster, right? So you have one thing that you really are good at and you try to be the best at that one thing. Some people can do multiple things. Even Michael Jordan tried to play baseball, right? But like basketball was his thing. So it's not easy. Now, granted, everyone has their jobs and they have to find their way to make income. But I think like outside of the making income part, if you're trying to get good at markets, then you just focus on markets because you never know where it can take you if you really, really go all in on trying to just understand how to navigate the stock market. Yeah, this is Derek's Twitter right there. Zokold posted it right there. He doesn't tweet a lot, though. He's not really on Twitter that much, or at least he doesn't post that much. You should ask Derek to let you host the earnings call. That'd be hilarious. And again, if I had a public company, dude, my earnings call would be like, I would be fucking in the pre-room prep, planning out the jokes, writing down the jokes. My CTO would be looking at me like, you're not going to say that. I'm like, bro, I'm going to say it. He's like, we have public investors. I was like, they're going to hear the jokes publicly. Like, fuck you mean, bro? Like, I'm making this joke. Like, who's going to stop me? I'm the CEO. Who's going to stop me? He's like, we have a board of directors. I'm like, that's fine. They're going to laugh too. They're definitely not going to be bored, even if they're on the board of directors. You know what I'm saying? They're going to be, and then my CTO is going to be like, I'm quitting. He's going to hear that little joke before we start. He's like, I'm quitting. I'm done. I'm out. But it is what it is. It is what it is. Any tech news from CES? I haven't been keeping up with CES all day, so I have no idea. I'm gonna have to see what they have in CES. Is this? I'm gonna have to see what they have. Yeah, there's some videos here on Twitter. If you type in CES. Oh wow, here's this thing. Oh, let me share this. Okay, this thing I just found. Some glasses on CES. Dude, Steve is so sold on this glasses thesis. He thinks Meta is going to win over Apple when it comes to glasses. I don't know. I don't know if Meta is going to win over Apple. I don't know. Meta's definitely looking like they're the most promising ones. But are they going to win over Apple? You'd also be late to join the call. I'd definitely be late, bro. I'd be like, hey, I'm trying to get my lights set up. What is this? Holographic glasses, bro. See, I feel like any of companies working on this, though, at CES, like Meta is going to do this anyway. Same with Apple. Like, I can't imagine that these startups have a real fighting shot against Meta or Apple doing this stuff. Or maybe they're trying to get bought out. Halliday, that's the brand, Halliday. What are these? How it works? Let's see. You guys can see this, right? Yeah. World's first proactive AI glasses with invisible display. See, like, I just think Meta or Apple does this, and I don't know how this thing takes off. Like, this is not a startup I would invest in. I would be like, there's no way I would invest in this. I would just buy more Meta shares. I feel like Meta would figure this out, and they have the R&D to figure it out. I don't know. AI. So this is what you see on the screen. People see, like, Meta's already talked about translating languages in AI translate. Like, Meta's doing this, and I'm assuming Apple's not too far behind. Playing music from the glasses, directions. That's the other thing I'm not convinced on with the glasses, bro. Like, okay, it shows me I have to turn left. Is it that difficult to take out my phone to see that I have to turn left? Or if I have Siri in my earphones, in my headphones, I can hear that she says turn left. Like, I don't see the use case of the glasses being like turn left. It's like, that can't be the use case that everyone's excited about, which is why I'm still a bit skeptical on glasses being the next frontier of consumer technology. I just don't buy it yet. I don't buy it yet. Great name, Ready Player One. That would be a good name. It's not a horrible one. As for a Michelin Ultra. Dude, Jensen was great when he said that. Jensen was great. People could get robbed for their glasses, bro. You never know. That potentially could happen if you're wearing a ton of money on your face. Big announcement out of Salesforce. Benioff announces he won't hire software developers after 2025, citing AI productivity. Okay, well, let me get you guys some inside juice on Salesforce. So I have a friend who works at Salesforce. I'm not going to say his name because I don't want it to get into any trouble. But this is what he told me yesterday. He said, I'm doing my first Agentforce implementation next week for a client, actually. They are shilling the fuck out of Agentforce. It's insane. They're giving the licenses away for free, and the AI certifications are also free. It's unheard of, and it's not even that good. That's what my boy at Salesforce told me yesterday. So I don't know, bro. Agentforce is, I would imagine they're marketing the crap out of that, and they kind of have to prove Agentforce is going to be a thing. But I don't even know if the agent technology is good enough yet to be able to handle all the complex customer relation data sets that Salesforce has with clients to be able to really offer value. I'm curious on if their technology is that good. And I guess we'll see in their numbers, but I don't know if it's really there yet. Oh, Halliday is the guy who started the Oasis in Ready Player One. Okay, I've never seen Ready Player One, so I don't know that. You can't. You can't. Dude, when did Ready Player One come out? Ready Player One, 2008. Oh, this is recent, 2018. I've never seen it, bro. I didn't see this shit. 7.4 out of 10 on IMDb. I haven't seen it. I guess I have to put that on the list. I have to see it. I guess I have to see it. Is it not in your top 10 movies? Yeah, I've never seen Ready Player One. I like movies like The Big Short, bro. Movies where I learn shit and it's about the markets. I wish there were many movies like Big Short or many types of those movies. And Margin Call, I didn't love. Wolf of Wall Street obviously is amazing. But those are the movies that actually keep my attention. Imagine walking down NYC and you could talk to strangers with glasses who have AR profiles on it. Everyone will want it. See, I don't know, bro. Like Steve was talking about that. You sit down with someone and you have a lunch with them. You're wearing your glasses and then you can like scan their face and pull up their LinkedIn while you're talking to them. That's weird as fuck. Like, no, like how does like that's just weird that you're like virtually scanning my digital profile while you're talking to me. B, I'm like, who has their glasses on while trying to have somewhat of a meaningful conversation? Not like glasses where you could see, but like this, thing on your face. Like, I don't know. I don't like it. I'm not a fully big fan of that idea. I just haven't been a fan of it for the past couple of years. I did watch the GameStop movie. I liked it. It was a bad movie objectively. Like it was a crappy movie, but it was good because like obviously, it has to do with Robin and all this stuff, and I'm interested in that stuff. But the movie kind of sucked objectively. Like it was not a good, like I wouldn't watch it again. It's not a fun movie to watch again, especially the ending, bro. Like I feel like they needed to go deeper into Roy Kitty's life, and they didn't. And that also made it hard to like really relate to it. Mean Girls is a good movie. I'll give you that. I don't think it's better than The Big Short. It's a good movie. It's more iconic than The Big Short, obviously. But I don't watch Mean Girls that often. I mean, I think I've seen it at least 4 or 5 times over the past 20 years. It's good, but it's not super, super high up there for me. It would be cool to be able to walk around and see like Google Maps all around, know how and weigh and which stores are in each building without going in. Yeah, see, I just don't see that use case. I feel like people think they love that, but then when you actually think, like everyone thought the Vision Pro would be super cool if you could have like a virtual like office, right? You have 3 screens and you have this virtual keyboard and you're typing, and then people got it and no one cared. No one saw the value, the purpose, the use case. Everyone just wanted to like look at their actual laptop screen. That's why Steve was like, oh, if I have a 75-inch TV, I'll just put on the glasses instead of stare at my TV. I'm like, in what world? There's a reason people go to the movies. Like you want the experience. And like, in what world do you have this tiny experience in your eyes, even if it's a little bit 3D or whatever, versus like having a big screen TV where you can drink some beer and watch a real game? I mean, I don't know. I don't fully see it. Yeah. You know what we don't talk about often in terms of the show? And I commented that last night on a post. Someone said, what is a show that is not given enough credit in terms of how good of a show it is? I haven't brought up the show in a long time. And those who know, they know. But it's one of these shows that we don't talk about enough. But Dawson's Creek, bro, top 5 show. It's up there. It's up there. Whoever hasn't given it a shot, give it a shot. It's up there. It's one of those shows. Last season sucked, but the first 5 seasons, the 5th season also kind of sucked. The first 3 seasons were great. First 3 seasons were phenomenal. 6 likes, yeah, like 4,000 views and 6 likes. That means 6 people out of 4,000 were like, we're gonna give this a little bit of a like. Yeah, that's true. Obviously, it didn't get as much momentum, but still. Dude, Michelle, I think you would love it. I think you would love it, Michelle. I think you would actually like it. I think it's on Prime, maybe. It was on Netflix. That's how I discovered it in 2020. I think you would enjoy it. Wait, my wife's falling in love with the Mitt after the Dawson's Creek. Dude, Phil, is your wife a Dawson's Creek fan? I'm telling you, bro. Definitely more women than not would like the show. It's a little bit more of a rom-com stretched out for like, or a dramatic romantic movie stretched out for 6 seasons, but still, it's a good one, bro. It's about it's about a guy who has a creek in the middle of him and this girl's house, like the girl next door, and he like fucking swims across the creek to like ask her out on a date. Like it's just a good show. And then there's a love triangle. It's like, I like it. Now, Breaking Bad is my number one. Breaking Bad is my number one. All time, Breaking Bad is my number one. I should get some respect for Breaking Bad. Okay, that's number one. That's number one. I've never seen Criminal Minds. I've heard of that one. I know people like that one. I've never seen it. But Breaking Bad is absolutely my number one. She said, I never met a guy that was a Dawson's Creek fan. Well, I mean, like, I don't take that as an insult. I take that as I'm different, bro. I'm different. Pacey is my favorite character in Dawson's Creek. Pacey, number one. Pacey is the best character. The best character. How can you have that attention span for that, but not some of the classics that the chat flames you about? Well, the thing is, I don't watch shows like regular people watch shows. If there's too much talking, I'll use the 10-second button on Netflix and I'll just get through the talking and then I'll get to the action. But Dawson's Creek was good enough to like keep my attention on some of the talking, but sometimes there was too much character development and I just like keep pressing the button and I get like, there's a 40-minute show I'll watch in like 29 minutes, bro. I'll get through a lot of the shit that I don't need to get through. It's, how I relate the way I watch TV shows. I did it through Squid Games too, by the way, because there was too much shit. The way people put a YouTube video on 1.5x or 2x, I could never do that. I could never listen to a YouTube video on 1.5x or 2x. I'd rather just let it play in the background and listen to it because I don't know, my brain can't handle that speed. But in a show, I'm constantly like getting through it on almost 1.5x just to get through the show. Money Heist was good, but it's too much shit. Again, I had to like fast forward through so much of it because it's way too much character development on Money Heist. Way too much. But I liked it. It was good. It was just a little bit too much. A little bit too much. Me either, because you talk too fast. Yeah, I know a lot of you guys don't watch me on 1.5 or 2x, but you guys watch other videos. Like so many times you guys mention like, oh, put it on 2x. And I'm like, dude, I never do that. I never put it on 1.5 or 2. Like I don't know. Maybe I've been on YouTube for so long and I never use that feature, but even on a long podcast, bro, I'll just be listening to it for hours instead of like speeding it up. And I know people like want to get information quicker and stuff like that. And it's efficient, but I don't know. It's hard. It's hard for me to do that. Oh, I love You. You is great. You is great. Season 5's coming out soon. And I like You. Too Big to Fail. Okay, so I saw this a long time ago. I need to see this again. 2011. Yeah, this was kind of like a... Yeah, this was... Dude, I haven't watched this in a while. I know about this movie. I've seen it a long time ago, though. Maybe this is one that has to be on the list. Inside Job as well, but it's been a while since I've seen this one. Like, I think I saw it in 2021. So I don't remember too much about this movie. I know Andrew Ross Sorkin was the director of this, or the producer, I think. He was involved in this one a lot. Audiobooks 1.75x. Yeah, see, even audiobooks, I would like podcasts. I would just listen to it like normal. All right, do we have anything else from this Elon thing? Let's finish up a little bit more of this. Oh, Neuralink. He talks about Neuralink. We were talking about Neuralink just now. Let's pull this up on Neuralink. And let's see if he says anything here.
So we've got Neuralink. We've got now three humans with Neuralinks implanted, and they're all working well. And we've upgraded devices where the devices will have more electrodes, basically higher bandwidth, longer battery life, and everything. And so we expect to hopefully do, 20 or 30 patients next year, or this year, I should say, with the upgraded Neuralink devices. And this, our first product is we're trying to enable people who have lost their brain-body connection, so they're a tetraplegic or a paraplegic, or it's basically like you can imagine, say, Stephen Hawking. If Stephen Hawking could communicate as fast or even faster than a normal human, that would be transformational.
Yeah.
So that's our first product, is being able to read the motor cortex of the brain and say that if you think about moving your hand it will move the cursor on the screen, and it enables people.
That's wild, bro. Absolutely. This is why I would invest in a heartbeat in that. That's absolutely insane.
To control their computer or their phone just by thinking. And then our next part will be blind sights, that even if somebody has lost both eyes or has lost the optic nerve, or even if they've been blind from birth, we can interface directly with the visual cortex in the brain and enable them to see. And we already have that working in monkeys. I actually have a monkey who's now had that for, I think, 2 years. And so basically enabling people to control devices. And ultimately, we think if you have a second Neuralink device that is past the point where the spinal damage occurred, we can actually transmit the signals from the brain past where essentially the wires are broken and enable someone to walk again. That would really be profound, obviously. But I'm confident that is physically possible. And then the long-term goal for Neuralink is to be able to improve the bandwidth. So right now, when we're speaking, our bandwidth in bits per second is quite low, and the sustained bandwidth of a human is less than 1 bit per second over a 24-hour period. So there's 86,400 seconds in a day, and the average human outputs much less than 86,400 bits in a day. If someone's a writer, they'll exceed that, but most people do not output more than the number of seconds in a day. And but with a Neuralink, you could increase that output capability by 1,000 or maybe 1,000,000. So it would be a profoundly different experience. Like you'd be superhuman, essentially.
Put me down for all of this so far.
Okay.
An early adopter.
Yeah, and trust me, you'll really like the chip. I can guarantee it.
And
It's wild, bro. Wild. Again, aggressive timelines, but who's doing what Elon's doing? It's absolutely no one. All right, futures are still red, right? Haven't watched Arcane? No, I've never seen Arcane. Wow, futures are getting redder. The VIX is going up, folks, and futures are red. We get non-farm payrolls in 15 hours. So if that number sucks, it looks like it's going to be a little red. 8 p.m. overnight markets are not looking too pretty. Definitely not for the Bitcoin proxies. Robinhood's probably going below 40. MicroStrategy's probably going below 320. Where is it at right now? It's at 334. Yeah, I mean, maybe 320-ish. Maybe like 325-ish. Depends on how bad the market thinks this 92K Bitcoin level is right now. All right, folks, is that it? Are we done? Hopefully people at least got some stream for today. Got to enjoy a little bit of just chilling and talking. We'll be back tomorrow. Market open. We'll have Pounter Weekly tomorrow. Market close as normal. Second Friday of the new year, but I think first official week of the market officially closing out. Why do you think futures are red? I don't know, dude. I actually don't know. It's kind of weird why they're red, especially down 0.5%. Maybe Bitcoin, but it's pre-volatility before non-farm payrolls. But we got the ADP payrolls, and the market already, I think, has an understanding of what they're expecting for NFPs. So, in general, I don't think we've had the dippy dip yet. We have not had the dippy dip. We are waiting for the real dip. I don't think it's been here yet. But then again, bro, we not recovered, but we kind of, S&P went green yesterday at 4 p.m. Like money came back. Oh, did we get money market inflows today? Okay, what do you guys think? Increase or decrease? Increase or decrease? Oh boy. Increase or let me do a poll. Let's do a poll. Increase or decrease? Let's see. How far will Pounter dip? I have no idea. If it goes to 40, I'm buying another 1,000 shares. If we go to 40, I'm buying 1,000 shares. I don't know how easy it is to get to 40, but I don't know. We got to see. We got to see how bad the volatility gets. Really got to respect Amid jumping on the Is Amid Gay channel inside joke with buying Grinder and Dawson's Creek and all the bits. Never breaks character. It's not a character, bro. I'm not acting like I'm gay because I'm not. There's nothing wrong if you're gay. I'm just not gay. I actually do think Grinder is going to be a very well performing company over the next 5 years. And Dawson's Creek is a good movie, is a good show. It is what it is. It's just who I am. All right, folks. Money market funds have increased by $66 billion. That means we have increased money market funds at over 150 billion over the past 3 weeks to $6.92 trillion. Basically on the sidelines and over the past 3 weeks. The last time we got a decrease was 3 weeks ago where we had 19 billion decreasing. Now we've added $162 billion. So what does that mean? That means money is coming off the sidelines to an extent, not all of it. A lot of this is also interest and different ways people allocate to these money market funds. But you can't deny 160 billion over the past 3 weeks. Some of it's coming out of equity markets and going on the sidelines. But the good thing is, if you do get a dippy dip, there is plenty of cash to come off the sidelines and go back into the market. So might take some time, but there is money on the sidelines. But that's wild, bro. I did not expect 66 billion to come into money market funds. All right, guys, that's it for me. We'll be back on the market open tomorrow. Hopefully everyone had a good day and got some time to relax, even if you didn't pay attention to markets. Yeah, we'll be back tomorrow. Tomorrow, definitely so far in futures, looks kind of bloody. We'll see how the market is going to interpret it. In an hour and 17 minutes, we'll get overnight markets opening, and we'll see how they react. And then maybe non-farm payrolls is not that big of a deal. Maybe you get the number and it's whatever. It's priced in. It is what it is. We're going to have to see over the next couple of days how the market interprets it, but hopefully not too bad. All right, that's it, everyone. Thank you for being here. Oh, word of the day. Let's do word of the day. Let's do that one, and then we'll be done. Word of the day is gamut. Or is it gamut? No, gamut. Okay. The entire scale around. Oh, I know this word. The artist runs the gamut of styles from photorealistic portrait. I've used this word before. From anger to vulnerability, the actor's performance ran the gamut of emotions.
I like hoops.
Okay. We've gone through a gamut of emotions in the first 9 days of January with this market. It's really having given us a crazy dip, but it's also not breaking all-time highs. So it's just going back and forth. And now we got to see over the next couple of weeks as we start earnings how the market goes forward. Do you think the nervous Nellies on the sidelines are dip buyers, Mitt? Yes, I think, but they're waiting for a good price. Like they're waiting for 10% down. I don't think they're coming in on 5% down. They might come in if we're like 8 or 9% down. I think money on the sidelines, 7 trillion is not staying on 7 trillion sideline. Look, once the 10-year goes down and it's obvious that J-Powell's cutting rates and your 4% risk-free return goes to 3.5%, you're getting back into the markets. But you would hope, at least these people are probably hoping for a 10% dip to like have a great opportunity to get in. But I think they will be dip buyers. It's just going to take the moment for it to happen. In my head, it wasn't spelled like that. Yeah, I've never learned how to spell gamut, but it definitely wasn't spelled like I would have done it with an I instead of a U. So yeah, that is a new thing we learned today in terms of how to spell that word. All right, thank you everybody. Appreciate it. We'll be back tomorrow on the market open. Bye everyone. Have a good one.